That's when the officers were shot. A SWAT team went back in the home early this morning, found the gunman dead. The snow starting to come down in the Northeast, and what's going to be a stormy day.
Governors in New Jersey and Pennsylvania declaring a state of emergency to make sure they have the plows and crews ready to handle this weather. And here in New York, the governor telling people to stay off the roads if they don't need to go out.
Fox's Lauren Blanchard. Areas from Jersey to Maine could get over a foot of snow. More than 1,900 flights are canceled. Fox News, fair and balanced.
29 degrees in Chicago, winds northwest at 15, and that will give us a wind chill as we start this early morning of 14 degrees. At 5:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Bond set at just over $1 million for a Plainfield teenager charged with murdering his parents last week at Central Michigan University as spring break began. James Davis Jr. made his initial court appearance yesterday in Michigan's Isabella County Court via video from his hospital bed. Authorities say Davis used his father's service weapon to shoot his parents Friday in his dorm room. His father was a Bellwood police officer. He's been hospitalized since his arrest on Saturday. One woman is dead, struck by a CTA bus on Chicago's South Side. Police say the incident happened last night when the bus was making a right turn onto 79th Street from Lafayette Avenue. Victim dying at the scene. There were no passengers on board that bus. Meantime, authorities are investigating a crash involving a CTA bus on Chicago's South Side that left 6 hurt. Police say the bus slammed into a Chevy Suburban making a turn this morning near 74th and Halsted, then rammed a tree and a fire hydrant. A woman is in critical condition after she was struck by a semi on Chicago's South Side after running into the roadway. Police say the incident happened early this morning near 68th and Western when the victim ran into traffic after an argument with another woman. Police remain on the scene investigating that incident. No one is in custody after 2 men and a woman were shot on Chicago's West Side. Police say the shooting happened last night while the victims were walking in the 1500 block of North Linder Avenue. An investigation continues following a suburban head-on crash in Berwyn that killed a single mother. Myra Rivera was driving on Ogden Avenue near Ridgeland when a Nissan crossed the center line and collided with her vehicle. She died at the scene. Illinois State Police are investigating after a driver was killed by a wheel hub that came off a semi-tractor trailer along I-80 close to Joliet. Semi was traveling when a wheel hub came off yesterday near Rowell Avenue. The lost hub then slammed into a windshield of another vehicle behind, the impact killing the woman driving that car. A candidate for Cook County Commissioner is leveling serious accusations at her opponent of accepting illegal campaign contributions. Sun-Times first to report that Elma Anaya filed a second request for an investigation into Angie Sandoval. Anaya claims several companies that have contracts with the county have contributed over $750 to Sandoval's campaign. That is illegal and against county ordinance. Illinois House Speaker Mike Madigan once again reminding Illinois lawmakers about what he doesn't want to see from them at the state capitol. The powerful speaker sending a note to lawmakers yesterday telling them to keep relationships with staffers, lobbyists, and fellow lawmakers professional. Madigan's warning rings a little hollow coming after weeks of reports of sexual harassment and inappropriate behavior at the state capitol inside his own organization and the Democratic Party, which he heads. Governor Rauner says all options are still on the table for how to respond to the Legionnaire's disease outbreak at the Illinois Veterans Home in Quincy. AM 560's David Stewart is looking at all of the options on the table.
Governor Rauner and his Director of Veterans Affairs appeared to disagree over how to end the outbreak that's persisted since 2015 and claimed 13 lives. Rauner disputed Erica Jeffries' remarks to lawmakers that replacing the plumbing would be too costly.
We may look at completely replacing some of the homes there, completely replacing entire plumbing systems. We're going to leave no stone unturned. We're going to do whatever it takes.
But not soon. Rauner says more experts will be brought in and further study will be done, even though a consultant looked at the problem in 2016. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
The village of Deerfield says they are taking a significant step toward the banning of the kind of rapid-fire rifle used in the mass shooting at a Florida high school last month. Deerfield Mayor Harriet Rosenthal says the village board last night approved a report from village staff that recommends expanding the current ordinance to include so-called assault weapons as well as high-capacity magazines, which were not used in the Florida shooting. Illinois lawmakers are once again trying to change the way the state draws its political map. State Representative Ryan Spain is pushing the latest attempt to create a 16-member commission to handle state house and congressional boundaries. The Pritzker name continues to dominate the list of 17 Illinoisans on the annual Forbes list of world billionaires, but hedge fund mogul Ken Griffin remains the state's wealthiest man with about $9 billion in the bank, followed by real estate tycoon Sam Zell. Chicago sports, this guy's got Stanley Cup trophies. Jonathan Taves netting a game-winning goal less than 10 seconds into overtime to lead the Blackhawks over the Avalanche 2-1 at the UC.
Overtime can go either way, and it's usually one great scoring chance after the next and end-to-end. So, like I said, it's nice to get that first one to go in there.
And the captain also assisted on Chicago's first goal of the night. Yu Darvish gave up one run over 2 innings of work in the Cubs Cactus League win over the Dodgers. Avisail Garcia, 2 RBI, Sox over the Brewers at Camelback Ranch. Bulls are keeping in touch with the NBA regarding how they're going to end their tanking season. The NBA weighing in, saying the significant reduction in roles of center Robin Lopez and guard Justin Holiday, not so hot. The NBA ordering them to rejoin the rotation. Bulls close out a 3-game homestand against the Grizzlies at the UC tonight. Bears using the transition tag on Kyle Fuller. Local college hoops, Notre Dame beats Pittsburgh in the first round of the ACC tournament. Irish play Virginia Tech next. Doug Bruno and the DePaul women are Big East champs. They're headed to the NCAA tournament after a win over Marquette at spanking new Wintrust Arena. 5 other teams wrap up men's NCAA tournament bids. Gonzaga, College of Charleston, South Dakota State punches their ticket. LIU Brooklyn stuns New York City rival and top seed Wagner to steal a bid. Wright State took home the Horizon crown. The news, a service of Shell. Get the feeling of being rewarded with gold status at Shell with the Fuel Rewards program. Start saving on your very first fill and continue to save on every fill every day. Download the Fuel Rewards app. Join and save 5 cents a gallon today. 5:09. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. And hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Trust, trust, trust. Yes, I said trust 3 times because I want to tell you about a recent AM 560 charity benefactor and company that built their business and reputation over 3 decades by being trustworthy. I'm talking about Dependable Construction and founder Joe Barron. Tuck pointing, brick, and roofing is Joe's specialty. Joe started as a laborer, then progressed to an expert tuck pointer and bricklayer. In addition to masonry and roofing, Dependable Construction has grown to become a full-service Angie's List and Better Business Bureau award-winning contractor. For brick, masonry, and roofing on residential, commercial, or industrial projects to any remodeling or construction, you'll deal directly with owner Joe Barron. So call Joe at Dependable Construction today. Mention AM 560 and receive a 10% discount on most jobs. Call 773-244-1091. That's 773-244-1091 or visit tuckpointchicago.net. tuckpointchicago.net.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in. and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
5:11 and a check of the early morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. 8094 eastbound at Klein Avenue. There's a crash. 2 right lanes are blocked. There are some icy patches this morning. There's also a crash on the Stevenson outbound at the top of the exit ramp. Demon, left lane is blocked on that ramp. The Ryan outbound, there's road work 87th, split, 3 left lanes, scheduled till 6 this morning. Their expressways and tollways look pretty good right now. The north side of Edgebrook, eastbound Devon, closes today from Central to Nokomis for some sewer work, and that is scheduled till sometime in April. At O'Hare this morning, we have about 60 flight cancellations due to the weather in the Northeast. That number is expected to rise. At Midway right now, about 16 cancellations. Traffic, it's a service of Indeed.com. Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring. Business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions. Sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. The latest with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today breezy with more clouds than sun. High 31, mostly cloudy tonight, low 20. Partly sunny tomorrow, high 35. Then a mainly clear night, low 21. Some sun Friday, high 38. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
Here are your updated temps. 27 at O'Hare, 29 along the lakefront, 28 Midway. And this morning in Aurora, 27. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Real Estate Revealed with Randy Barcella, Sunday mornings starting at 8.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I got to talk about the City Club yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I will get to that. So that's just
After we were at Charles Equipment in the morning doing our live remote for Signature Bank, we then
Charles Equipment Energy Systems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got that right.
But
no, those guys, Bob and Mike, thank you so much for all your hospitality, the great breakfast they made for us.
Although I have to say,
homemade wine, which I haven't opened yet.
I have to say, Mike's concoction for breakfast, homemade, was excellent, fresh.
Right, but then he told you how he made it.
Well, yeah, how fresh it was. Too fresh.
How fresh is it?
Too fresh.
No preservatives, guys.
But
no processed food you're eating.
But the spread so far, I mean, just in terms of trying to set a gold standard for future stops on the Signature Bank Business Tour, the gold standard so far in terms of welcoming spread for people of our standing in the community, appropriate welcoming spread, Mueller CPAs.
Oh, well, yeah. They had the snack cart with
they had the
rum chata.
They had the full Bloody Mary bar. They had the continental breakfast. They had the snack cart. I mean, that's how you do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just word to the wise out there.
We do appreciate Bob and Mike, though.
Of course. We played golf with them. That's how much
they're
we
like
appreciate
old buddies.
them.
I could tell them anything.
They're good guys. Good business, and business is doing well, so that's good to hear.
And they save lives with their equipment.
True. Big the industrial generators, power. Yes, exactly. So this is a story that kind of was local and national, then comes national, back to local. We're talking about Louis Farrakhan.
Oh, Louis.
Yeah. John Cass writes about him in the Tribune today. Louis Farrakhan's anti-Semitism and the silence of the left, and since he's another one of our great Hyde Park products effectively, I think it's worth addressing because he has longstanding relationships with a number of members of the Congressional Black Caucus Democrats, Maxine Waters, Keith Ellison, Andre Carson from Indiana, and, of course, our very own, the master of the four-word filibuster, Danny Davis.
Danny Davis.
Yeah.
He's your congressman.
He is my representative.
Are you going to vote him out because of this?
Yeah.
Does he even have a challenger?
I don't know.
And how long have you been in that congressional district?
Did
they gerrymander you in, or have you always been in that one?
Well, I've been in it since I lived in Chicago.
Right, okay, but...
Because, I mean...
when I lived in Chicago, I was in the 9th congressional district, then I went back to the 5th, then I went back to the 9th, and now I'm the 5th.
Well...
And I didn't move.
Yeah, well, that does tend to happen, but no, I've always enjoyed the representation of Danny Davis, yeah.
This is CNN. I think we had him say that one time when he was on the show. I asked him, I go, do you mind if you go, you're watching CNN? And he did it. He was a good sport.
Yeah, but he's not better than James Earl Jones.
No, but
it's good, but it's not that good.
It's called a radio bit. It was funny.
It's not James Earl Jones good.
So is Danny Dervers denouncing Farrakhan yet? Or is he doing anything?
Well, we talked about this earlier in the week, and I mean, it really is worth noting in this age of virtue signaling and anything that can be construed as intolerance towards anyone is verboten and the subject of public ridicule, except embracing the most virulent anti-Semitism that is available outside of the Nazi Party, Louis Farrakhan, is somehow we're just supposed to gloss over it. That's sort of the point that Cass picked up on. Remember, we talked about what Davis has said about Farrakhan's recent address. This isn't like we're drudging up old Farrakhan hate. This is a sermon he gave at the end of last month.
Really?
And so in response to what Farrakhan has said about white people and about Jews in particular, the speech that he gave last month, by the way, white folks are going down and Satan is going down, and Farrakhan, by God's grace, has pulled the cover off that satanic Jew, and I'm here to say your time is up, your world is through. Danny Davis was asked about that, and again, he told the Daily Caller, at least reported by the Daily Caller initially, I'm a pretty global individual, whatever that means. So I know Farrakhan. Yeah, you know Farrakhan. I mean, he's next door in Hyde Park. Yeah. So I know Farrakhan. I know the Middle East question. I know the Jews and Farrakhan. I know all that, but that's not what I spend all my time focused on. Nobody's asking you to spend all your time focused on it, but okay. I know Farrakhan. I've been knowing him for years and years and years and years and years, 5 years. And every once in a while, some writer or somebody will, I guess, try to think of something to say about Farrakhan, but nah, my world is much bigger than any of that. I don't have time for that. I deal with it, when it comes, but nah, that's not a real part of my focus. Some reporter isn't trying to say something about Farrakhan. Farrakhan said those words. That's just one segment of what goes on in our world, Davis continued. The world is so much bigger than Farrakhan and the Jewish question and his position on that and so forth. For those heavy into it, that's their thing, but it ain't my thing. That's not exactly a statement of condemnation.
No.
So why does Farrakhan get a pass is the question.
Because maybe he has money and he donates to their campaigns? I'm just trying to think out loud.
Maybe it's...
Maybe they need to keep the African-American vote, and a lot of African-Americans follow Farrakhan and their members.
Yeah. Cass goes on to say that silence is dangerous. It cites and gives hateful license to some on the hard right, provoking equally hateful views, talking about David Duke and comparing David Duke to Farrakhan. What we're witnessing is the balkanizing of the United States, and the left's silence about Louis Farrakhan is the canary in the coal mine. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. And guess what? Danny Davis isn't the only one struggling to find the words to condemn that kind of hatred. The Women's March organizers like Tamika Mallory, they're struggling as well. The Women's March co-founder, Tamika Mallory, attended that Nation of Islam conference on February 25th, where Farrakhan offered those words I just read.
Yeah. Was she selling pea hats outside?
Don't know.
Get your pea hat.
Farrakhan, however, did praise Mallory by name, and she was seen applauding during his speech. She initially defended Farrakhan, implying that religious leaders are supposed to consider Jews their enemy.
Oh, okay.
This is, if your leader does not have the...
We don't do that in my church.
Well.
No, nor do you.
Yes. If your leader does not have the same enemies as Jesus, they may not be the leader, she wrote.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
He was a carpenter, don't you know?
Uh-huh. Carmen Perez, the group's co-president. A lot of co-founders, co-presidents. In regards to Minister Farrakhan,
yeah,
man of the cloth, I think that's a distraction. People need to understand the significant contributions that these individuals have made to black and brown people. Who are these individuals? I thought we were talking about Farrakhan. Now he's plural. And we're talking about his contributions? So she, in response to Farrakhan's anti-Semitism and general hatred of white people.
And Jewish people.
Well, anti-Semitism, yeah. She's talking about his contributions or their contributions to, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Jake Tapper asked the obvious question, why is it so tough for some people to condemn a rabid anti-Semite who is also a misogynist and anti-LGBT to throw it in? Yeah, where are all of those high-minded editorials from the deep thinkers of the daily newspapers in Chicago, in D.C., and on the Eastern Seaboard who are quick to label a bigot someone who, say, believes in traditional marriage.
Bigot.
There's no bigotry. Someone who doesn't believe men should be in the girls' bathroom. No bigotry. But Louis Farrakhan, you got to put it in context. Minister Farrakhan has done this. It's a distraction. Minister Farrakhan has done that. Fascinating, isn't it? Don in McHenry. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Dan, the other day you made a comment about, you don't have to be beholden to the NRA to support them. It might be because you simply agree with their ideals.
It's true.
I would suggest that Danny Davis isn't saying anything about Farrakhan because he agrees with his ideals.
That's certainly a possibility, isn't it, Don? Thanks for the call. Tony on the South Side.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy. I hope all is well. My question is, what I believe that our mayor of Chicago, Ron Mail, isn't he Jewish? Yeah.
Yes.
And has any of the press corps in the city actually asked him his opinion on that? Probably not, because I don't care about the Rusty Spongeable congressman and so far. It strikes me funny that he signed as well. And one quick more question I wanted to ask you, Dan. Do you have a short list of who I need to vote for on the Republican side this time around?
Yes.
Get online.
Tony on the South Side. I mean, your choices are Jeannie Ives and Jeannie Ives. I mean, what other races?
For judges.
Oh, yeah, for the other.
Judges. He's on the South Side.
Swenson, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, that's not district.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right.
Somebody else I need to vote for.
All right, well, we got at the top of the 7 o'clock hour, we got a guy running the Republican primary for Attorney General, Gary Grasso. He's running against Erica Harold, so that's a race, too, you can consider. So, thanks for the call, Tony.
I got a guy. Well, if there's any Swedish name on the ballot, I suggest you vote for that person.
Yeah.
We're taking over.
The Swedes need to stick together. Frank in St. Charles.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, I have a similar situation. I have some friends I went to high school with. They're on my friends list on Facebook, and they're lefties. Let's put it that way. You try asking them, hey, what do you think of Fidel Castro? They will not say anything negative about him. They avoid it like the plague. I try to pin them down with that question, but no.
Thanks for the call, Frank. Yeah, it's the old, hey, everybody focuses on the bad of Castro. What about all the good things? Okay, well, go ahead and name some. Greg in Schaumburg.
Dan, to your point of the balkanization of our country, I just would like to add that the number one person I think that's responsible for that is David Axelrod here in Chicago. He, by far, across the entire country, has injected deceit into the political process. And now that there's going to be another Senate seat available in Mississippi, when he does his little routine of tossing Soros cash and bringing up the past. We've got to stand strong this time.
Thanks for the call, Greg. Red diaper baby, David Axelrod speaking of. Professional liar, as Mike Rako termed David Axelrod. Now he's a scholar.
Oh.
Though, University of Chicago and all that. Tom in Deer Park.
Well, I have a theory on all the silence. Let's just look at Catholics, maybe Cardinal Cupich or Catholic Durbin or Nancy Pelosi or other leaders in Congress and mayoral, like Mayor Emanuel and Chuck Schumer, and then in the media on both print, radio, and cable. All the silence, in my opinion, is due because Davis is more important in the current battle against the Second Amendment. And I'll give you the example of when he made a press conference last week with Chris Kennedy to basically tax firearms and ammunition out of existence.
Right.
And in my opinion, this is the narrative of the left right now, and it's so important that it supersedes virulent anti-Semitism.
Yeah,
I'm curious, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good theory, Tom. I think that's a pretty good theory. Fellow travelers defending each other. Yeah, pretty good.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Risk mitigation is an important consideration that smart companies pay attention to in today's complicated business climate. Some of the greatest risks occur when your company hires new employees or when you execute new business financial relationships. When your company hires, leases, or conducts financial transactions, decisions are critical. That's why veteran-owned and operated Global Verification Network is a company you should know. Startups to Fortune 100s trust Global Verification Network, and so should you. They're a background screening and investigative services company dedicated to expert, timely, and affordable background screening services for employment, tenant screening, and business due diligence. Global Verification Network is headquartered in Chicagoland, a federally recognized veteran-owned small business, and never offshores data like many competitors. To request your company's risk analysis without obligation or cost, visit globalverificationnetwork.com or call 877-695-1179 or visit them online at globalverificationnetwork.com. Global Verification Network, the risk mitigation experts, 877-695-1179.
Can you feel it? Spring is in the air. Time to get out of hibernation mode and get organized for warm weather projects. Come on, you can do it. A spring clean of your business or farm is just what you need to be ready for sunshine. And StoreLock can help. It's the best tool cabinet you'll ever buy. And 100% made in the USA. In Kankakee, with a 55-year guarantee from top to bottom. StoreLock is a modular, durable storage system with dividers, liners, and layouts, all made to order exactly how you want it. Each drawer holds up to 400 pounds and is powder-coated in-house with any color you want. It's fully assembled when it ships, so you'll get organized fast. StoreLock can handle any size room or facility. They can do systems for airline hangars to fire departments to modular workstations for your shop. Anywhere you need quality storage that will last a lifetime at a factory direct price. Get organized today. Call Mike the owner personally at 1-800-STORLOC. That's 1-800-STORLOC. And check out StoreLock.com for upcoming events.
If you still haven't purchased the very best pillow, of course I'm talking about MyPillow, the 4-pack deal is back. So I strongly urge you to go online or call now to make sure you take advantage of this great deal. A great night's sleep is so important, so give yourself the gift of a great night's sleep by ordering a MyPillow. By using the promo code Amy, you'll get the absolute best deal available anywhere. The MyPillow 4-pack deal includes 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows at 50% off. I love that I can move the fill to get the support I need, regardless if I sleep on my back or side. I never wake up with a stiff neck or headache. And MyPillow is made in America, washable and dryable, hypoallergenic, and has a 10-year warranty plus a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your 50% off the 4-pack by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
Special interest announcement brought to you by Caltrin.
Clean up on aisle 8.
Not again. It's your turn.
No way. I got the last one.
Fine. I just hope it's not a set of love handles.
That's nothing. Yesterday, I had to clean up some thunder thighs and a butt.
Oh my gosh. Ever since people started taking Calitrin, they've been dropping weight like crazy.
Started taking what?
Calitrin, you know, the healthy choice for weight loss.
So I got the Calitrin and I tried it and was amazed at how well it worked. I lost my stomach. I got into pants that I had not been into in a year and a half. And it also took my hot flashes away. So it's been wonderful.
Hi, this is Brenda. I lost 50 pounds. I have regained my energy. I have regained some mental clarity. I enjoy life again. It's just been amazing. I recommend it to anybody and everybody.
Calitrin. Visit us on the web at toploss.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
You know, I really like Tony from the Southside's point about those intrepid Jimmy Olsons in the Chicago press corps who haven't made their way to ask Rahm about Farrakhan's comments, because it's not something that's truly offensive, you know, like a Chick-fil-A restaurant.
Exactly. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Maybe the reporters don't want to ask the uncomfortable questions, which they should do. Got to get me back out there. Coming
All
up.
right.
Okay.
Punch your number. Let's go, Jacobson. You're in.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Everybody wants to work at the White House at 5:38.
Yeah, who doesn't love me? But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
26 degrees. President Trump losing another high-level aide. White House confirming that Chief Economic Advisor Gary Cohn is resigning. Cohn is a registered Democrat, and numerous Republicans in Congress worry that the presidential tariff fight could spark a worldwide trade war. Police in Missouri investigating after a man who later killed himself shot and killed one officer and wounded two others. This is happening in Clinton, just southeast of Kansas City. Republican and Democrat voters turned out in huge numbers for the Texas primary, but while nearly 1 million Democrats voted, doubling their turnout from the 2014 midterms, close to 1.5 million Republicans turned out. That's a record for the GOP. Trump administration suing California over sanctuary policies for illegal immigrants. Meantime, the president is defending his decision to slap tariffs on imported steel and aluminum.
The European Union has not treated us well, and it's been a very, very unfair trade situation. I'm here to protect, and one of the reasons I was elected is I'm protecting our workers, I'm protecting our companies, and I'm not going to let that happen.
The president at a White House news conference yesterday with the president of Sweden. Teachers returning to classrooms in West Virginia after a 9-day strike. McDonald's says it's going to start putting fresh beef in quarter pounders. Fast food company says starting in May, it's switching from frozen beef to fresh beef in every U.S. restaurant except Hawaii and Alaska. Stories we're following this morning here in Chicago. A woman is dead, struck by a CTA bus on Chicago's south side. It happened near 79th and Lafayette. Meantime, authorities investigating a crash involving a CTA bus and a Chevy Suburban that left 6 injured. A woman is killed, hit by a semi-tractor trailer on Chicago's south side after running into the roadway near 68th and Western. Authorities are searching for a 17-year-old girl who ran away from her northwest suburban home last week with her toddler son in tow. Police say the woman and her 18-month-old were last seen Friday in Des Plaines. Chicago sports, Blackhawks over the Avalanche 2-1. Bulls close out a 3-game homestand against the Grizzlies at the UC, and the Bears use the transition tag on DB Kyle Fuller. The news, a service of Al Piemonte Ford. Stop. Before you buy your new car, you must visit Al Piemonte Ford now. Truckloads of new cars and trucks have just arrived, and everything is priced to sell quickly. Al Piemonte Ford is at 25th and North Avenue in Melrose Park. 5:34, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Why do we call it small business? Why not agile business, nimble business, dance circles around the big, bulky behemoths business? Ooma Office, the small business phone solution, has a virtual receptionist to direct calls to the right extension and a mobile app to help you answer while away from the office. About all that's small really is the price, starting at only $19.95 a month. Visit Ooma.com, that's OOMA, or call 866-649-9377 to find out more. Ooma, the phone your small business deserves.
Does your basement or crawl space have damp, musty odors? Do you worry about indoor gases and pollutants? Everyday living generates moisture that can nourish mold and odors, even asthmatic triggers. Indoor pollutants linked to respiratory ailments, birth defects, and cancers can become trapped in your home. You can't buy health, but you can buy Wave's moisture control and air quality products. Wave Home Solutions for a dry, healthy home. Satisfaction guaranteed. Go to dryhome123.com. That's dryhome123.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of a quality solid door from Competitive Door and Supply Company. Doors that serious contractors use for everything from hospitals to schools to warehouses. Not the hollow stuff you find at the big box home improvement stores. Solid core wood doors made out of oak and birch, steel doors, and custom orders ready for installation. Call Competitive Door and Supply Company, 708-366-0194. And for a limited time, get free delivery.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. Leslie, people have spring fever. Consumer confidence is up, and that means spending. We want folks to enjoy what they've worked so hard for, but don't forget...
Craig, are you trying to tell me something? I know. Retirement's right around the corner.
Listen, a new season is time for regrowth and building on what you already have. You don't need to do it alone if you have Wealth Management Group at your side.
Spring into action and make Wealth Management Group your go-to partner. And listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Daryl has hired with Indeed.
Nothing has been this simple, this easy, and this effective.
Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, what are you doing up here on the roof?
I want to tell the world I just met the woman of my dreams. What about you?
I want to tell the world that Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
They saved me $782.
Oh, you go first then. $782 really puts finding love into perspective.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
538, a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. There are some flight cancellations at Chicago's weather, mainly due to weather at the north, at Chicago's airports, I should say, mainly due to weather. The northeast, residual delays on the CTA Yellow Line. There's a mechanical problem on a train at Howard Station. Edens is fine. Kennedy as well. Inbound Eisenhower. Slow Des Plaines Avenue to Harlem. There's an outbound crash, and this is causing outbound delays central to past Harlem. So the travel time, inbound 31 minutes, 390 to downtown, but outbound it's 42 minutes. The crash is now gone. Inbound Stevenson, got a 2-minute delay central to Pulaski. On Ryan, 18 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57 outbound, got a jam from 127th past the Cal-Sag Channel. All lanes are blocked with the crash. Inbound Bishop Ford, 24 minutes, 80-94 to the Ryan. 80-94 eastbound, heavy climb to before Burr with a crash in the 2 right lanes. Traffic service of Indeed.com. Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring. Business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions and sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Breezy and colder, more clouds than sun today, high 31. Currently 27. Next news at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity. Right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy, and Trump's top economic advisor, Gary Cohn, is resigning his post. And to that, I say good riddance, despite the fact that stock market futures opened down, at least the tea leaves is because of this announcement. And it's perceived that this is in response to the tariffs that Trump is imposing on aluminum and steel, foreign aluminum and steel. But, Gary Cohn was rumored to be kind of on his way out for some time. And frankly, he is, another one of these sort of insufferable, transactional, amoral Goldman Sachs Wall Street types who are proponents of rent-seeking behavior, and I won't miss him for a moment.
Well, he was very upset over the Charlottesville comments that President Trump made. There was talk of him leaving after that, but he decided to stay and help with the tax plan.
Yeah.
But NBC said he was a rare talent, a stabilizing force.
Of course, NBC said that.
Well, they said that, and I can't wait to have Stephen Moore on when he joins us at what time? 7:37.
Stephen Moore doesn't like Gary Cohn.
Okay,
we've talked to him about it before. Gary Cohn is a Wall Street rent seeker, like all these Goldman Sachs guys.
Did he accomplish anything?
Well, no, he didn't accomplish anything. The administration accomplished things, and he was a part of that administration. Gary Cohn passed
off with his head. Let's go. Let's go decapitate him.
Well, the point is that it's being so overblown because, of course, it feeds the D.C. press corps' narrative of chaos in the White House and nobody wants to work there and everybody's leaving. Like presidential administrations routinely don't have substantial turnover. I mean, how many of these top appointments last for an entire term, much less two? Now, I'm not saying that you take a passive position with respect to talent leaving, but I don't think he's talent. I mean, he's a smart guy and he's an accomplished guy and he's made a lot of money, but doesn't mean he's the right guy with the right policies. These Wall Street rent seekers are part of the problem. They're part of draining the swamp, which is why I opposed, and so did a lot of other free market conservatives, the appointment of people like Gary Cohn to top host the administration from the beginning. So let's, get a hold of ourselves here when it comes to, oh, my gosh, Gary Cohn is leaving. How could we ever replace one of Goldman Sachs rent seeker for another one?
The funniest
Give me a break.
First Hope Hicks, now Gary.
Yeah,
now Cohen.
These are like vestigial organs of the administration.
And then they put their pictures like shum shum together on the screen. Like,
this is what I'm saying. This is why nobody pays much attention to the D.C. press corps. Because everything is hyperventilation.
Well, one reporter asked President Trump yesterday, while he was meeting with the Prime Minister of Sweden, Mr. Froschen. Do you like that?
Yeah, was that silly king with him?
No.
No? Oh.
Carlson, no.
King Friday or whoever? Who's the king of Sweden?
The Gustavs. King Friday.
Gustav Olaf?
Yeah, King Friday. Well,
meow, 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 meow. That's what the king had to say at the press conference.
With a little puppet.
Yeah.
Meow, 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 meow. But President Trump, they asked him about, chaos and people leaving and can he obtain a staff?
The White House has tremendous energy. It has tremendous spirit. It is a great place to be working. Many, many people want every single job. I read where, maybe people don't want to work for Trump, but believe me, everybody wants to work in the White House.
Everybody.
They all want a piece of that Oval Office. They want a piece of the West Wing. And not only in terms of that West Wing on their resume, it's just a great place to work. It's got tremendous energy. It's tough. I like conflict. I like having two people with different points of view, and I certainly have that. And then I make a decision. But I like watching it, I like seeing it, and I think it's the best way to go.
Yeah.
I like different points of view.
Yeah.
But the White House has a tremendous energy, and we have tremendous talent. Yeah, there'll be people, I'm not going to be specific, but there'll be people that change. They always change. Sometimes they want to go out and do something else, but they all want to be in the White House. So many people want to come in. I have a choice of anybody. I could take any position in the White House, and I'll have a choice of the 10 top people having to do with that position.
Top men.
Everybody wants to be there.
Top men on it. Top men. You want a piece of this?
You want a piece of me?
If that's true, and I think in large part it is, that he is the choice of top talent in the world, then he should make better choices.
You think so?
I mean, I appreciate loyalists. Hope
Right.
Hick. I mean, so the rumor is Mercedes Schlapp, who is the wife of Matt Schlapp, who's the head of the American Conservative Union that puts on CPAC. He's been on the show before. That she's going to replace Hope Hicks as the comm director. There's somebody who's qualified for the job.
Yeah.
Hope Hicks was not.
Is
Let's
she an
just be
adult?
honest.
Is she over 30?
Yeah.
All right.
Put Larry Kudlow in there. Replace Gary Cohn. What Steve Moore had proposed before, I'm sure he'll
What
propose
about
again.
Steve Moore?
No, then he won't be able to do our show.
Oh.
So he's gonna have to
speaking of-
choose. It's us or Trump. Steve Moore wants a piece of this.
Oh, he wants.
He likes the energy here. Everybody wants to be on this show.
Bolton met with President Trump yesterday. Did you see that? We had him on the show yesterday morning, didn't we?
Yeah, we did have him on the show yesterday. How quickly they forget.
I know. We had him on. I didn't know. I should have asked him, so what are you doing with the rest of your day? Because he was meeting about a possible position in the administration. Don't know which one yet, but remember, he'd have to shave the mustache for because President Trump doesn't like facial hair.
Well, President Trump doesn't have to kiss him, so maybe he can make an exception and be a little bit less Ross Perot when it comes to facial hair. Trump also, during that joint presser with King Friday, had something to say about the tariffs.
The European Union has not treated us well, and it's been a very, very unfair trade situation. I'm here to protect, and one of the reasons I was elected is I'm protecting our workers, I'm protecting our companies, and I'm not going to let that happen.
Yeah, he's still wrong. I mean, I'm not surprised by it. I'm not going to feign surprise. I'm not going to get all worked up and outraged because I understand this is something that he believes. It just turns out to be wrong. And the evidence of past examples of tariffs is germane, as well as a projection of what this tariff would do if Congress doesn't peel back what the president wants to do or encourage him to peel it back. A report out by a couple of academics, part of this trade partnership group. They did a policy brief, the estimated impacts of the proposed tariffs on imports of U.S. steel and aluminum. The upshot is this, that the tariffs may increase U.S. iron, steel, and aluminum producing employment by as many as 33,464 to be specific, but as many as 33,000 jobs. The tariffs may increase U.S. iron, steel, and aluminum producing employment by as many as 33,000 jobs, but will cost nearly 180,000 jobs throughout the rest of the U.S. economy. You know, the steel, aluminum, iron using businesses, where you just increase the cost of producing products. So that's a net loss of about 146,000 jobs. So you're protecting some workers at the expense of other workers, which is what protectionism is, protecting some industries or businesses at the expense of other industries or businesses. It's just bad public policy. I'm sorry. I know it has populist appeal. The historical experiences and the data from those experiences, in addition to what's projected here based on people who have a working knowledge of economics, have read Adam Smith, at least page through it, it's manifestly clear.
Right, and everybody knows that, but
not everybody knows it.
Except for President Trump. And who can get through to him?
There's a lot of people who think that this is the right policy. There's a lot of people who believe this, and they're well-intended. They want to protect American businesses and American workers, and I understand that, but good intentions on the left are not enough. The road to hell is paved with them, and it's the same thing with people who are giving Trump the benefit of the doubt because of his good intentions and the rhetoric he's using to sell it. It's bad policy. I don't know. I mean, I hate to break it to some people, but it is. Jim in Crown Point.
I like Trump for one reason. He uses stuff as bargaining chips. He'll say anything. I worked for a guy that his perception was he was crazy. The guy was a genius. Whenever he owned a company and whenever he had to do anything, he acted nutty. He'd say anything, and these people would just fold, and he pretty much got his way all the time. I think he's doing this for AFTRA and anything else. He's using it as a bargaining chip.
You mean NAFTA?
NAFTA, I mean.
Yeah.
And the last guy rolled over on everything. I mean, Obama.
Yeah. But that's a false choice. I'm not suggesting we should, replicate Obama's choices. I'm just saying that this is a bad choice by Trump, even if it's leverage. I have a marketing idea you might want to listen to. All right.
You know how you take a doll and you take it to different countries and you put it on Facebook?
Yeah, like the gnome,
Flat Stanley,
the traveling gnome, or Flat Stanley.
How about the Robert Mueller doll, where you're going? You could be going to Hong Kong. Take a picture of it, put it on Facebook. I think it would be a hit.
Bob Mueller doll? That's what you think?
Yeah. He go all over the countries.
Not blowing any wind up my skirt.
Thanks for the call, Jim.
I got to tell you. Back to John Bolton. He was meeting President Trump to possibly replace H.R. McMaster or possibly Rex Tillerson.
Right. Yeah, he was always on the short list there.
Yeah. Got to shave that mustache. I'm telling you, the key to getting into one of those positions is to do that. And what about you there?
I like the mustache.
Grizzly Adams, where are you going with that thing, ZZ Top? I mean, how long do I have to endure Wilson?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
on a mental island by myself.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
People have long associated the Ozinga name with concrete, but truth be told, Ozinga has always been on a quest to create a better world. We want to help you build your business so you can provide for your family, create better jobs, and build your community. It's why we constantly engineer better concrete, haul raw materials, and supply cleaner fuel. Together, we can positively impact the places where we live, work, and play throughout the Chicagoland area. To learn more, go to ozinga.com. That's OZINGA.com.
So, you're a truck driver, a clutch cowboy, a wrangler of the road. At Ozinga, you are exactly who we need. Concrete truck drivers. People who aren't afraid of a little adventure and hard work. If you're tired of monotony and are looking to build something that matters, then come build with us. At Ozinga, we are building our families, our communities, and our country. Apply online today at ozinga.com. That's OZINGA.com.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
If you have pain, I hope you listen up. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of the side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you could be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com.
You've heard us say, if your roof is needy,
call Grumweedy.
Well, now, if a vacation is needy,
call Grumweedy.
Really? What's that all about?
This is Mark Olson
and Greg Olson from Crumweedy.
We created a special deal just for you. Receive a luxury cruise vacation for two with a qualifying purchase. A great roof, siding, or windows, and a vacation. Call us and start packing now.
Let's book your new roof or siding. We'll do a great job, and you'll get the Crumweedy promise of installation that's up to manufacturer specifications, so your warranty is intact.
And receive a luxury cruise for two as a thank you.
Some restrictions apply, and we only have so many vacations to give, so call now.
We fix roof problems, and you get the cruise.
Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
Go to myroofisneedy.com today. myroofisneedy.com.
People make your business work. But how do you find the right talent? ZipRecruiter. One click posts your job to over 100 top job boards. Then, smart matching technology instantly alerts quality candidates about your job. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
To try ZipRecruiter for free, just go to ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
The expensive mattress you're considering buying is a waste of money because it isn't customized to you. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, the only place to get a customized mattress starting at just $600. Just go to HelixSleep.com, fill out our 2-minute sleep survey, and we'll design a mattress made just for you with a 100-night sleep trial and financing as low as 0%. For a limited time, get $50 off your mattress order when you go to HelixSleep.com/talkradio. That's HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
A glass of wine on the patio at day's end. Laughter from your teens and their friends gathered around the crackling fire of your new fire pit. This is the private oasis that AM Woodland Outdoor Design can create for you. Your outdoor space should be a reflection of your family's personality and a true extension of your home, not just a place to set your grill and furniture. A well-designed and constructed outdoor space can add significant value to your home and bring endless days of enjoyment. Spend more time together as a family, entertain friends, or just have a personal sanctuary to relax and de-stress. The expert team at AM Woodland Outdoor Design will guide you through every step of the process. They provide quality service with the utmost integrity and reliability every time.
AM Woodland Outdoor Design, proudly serving Lake, Cook, and Kenosha counties, helping make the communities they grew up in as beautiful as they can be. Visit amwoodland.com. That's amwoodland.com or call 847-224-2167.
5:57 in Chicago. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Weather in the Northeast causing flight cancellations. About 80 in Chicago's 2 airports so far. It's likely to go up. Kennedy inbound heavy Cumberland to Harlan, 22 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 20. Eden's still good. Eisenhower, 35 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 38. There was an earlier crash near Harlan. Stevenson, 38 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 19 minutes, 95 to downtown. Up on I-57, heavy 127 before Dixie Highway. Crash moved to the shoulder. Bishop Ford, 25 minutes, 80-94 to the merge. Traffic, service of Staples. Staples can help your business stand out with custom printed signs, banners, and brochures. Now at Staples, get $5 off your next print marketing services purchase. You spend $50 or more. Standout materials equals outstanding results. Offer in-store only, ends 3/24, exclusion supply. Staples. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour for the morning. Otherwise, more clouds than sun throughout the day today. Chance of flurries for the afternoon, high 31. Mostly cloudy for the night tonight with a low of 20. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
Currently 27 degrees at O'Hare. The news is a service of Accountemps. Finding highly skilled accounting and finance professionals can be a challenge. Accountemps can help. With Accountemps' extensive network of accounting and finance contractors, you can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring need. Visit Accountemps.com to learn more. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 5:59. Here are the stories we're following on AM 560, The Answer. Bond is set at just over $1 million for a Plainfield teen charged with murdering his parents last week at Central Michigan University. One woman dead, struck by a CTA bus on Chicago's south side. A woman struck and killed by a semi early this morning on Chicago's south side after running into a roadway near 68th and Western. State police investigating after a driver was killed by a wheel hub that fell off a semi-tractor trailer along I-80 close to Joliet. Jonathan Taves, the game winner. Blackhawks over the Avalanche 2-1. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
California needs to find sanctuary in courts. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The Justice Department is suing the state, and Attorney General Sessions will go to Sacramento today and issue 3 new California laws protecting illegal immigrants that he believes are unfair and unconstitutional. It comes a week after a fight over sanctuary cities in California escalated.
An immigration enforcement operation went down in the Bay Area, and the mayor of Oakland warned everyone about it ahead of time. The director of ICE said her warning allowed criminals to elude his agents, and the Justice Department said they would investigate the mayor's actions. Now, Sessions had announced grant funding cuts to sanctuary cities earlier, but federal judges temporarily stopped those efforts.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal, California's governor, tweeted it as a political stunt. Sad. President Trump's chief economic advisor is leaving, and Wall Street doesn't seem to like it. Stock futures are plunging this morning. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, Gary Cohn's resignation came amid controversy over President Trump's tariffs plan, and his departure could signal he lost a fight over the issue. The former Goldman Sachs CEO was perceived by investors as a stabilizing force in the White House. In a statement, the president called Cohn a rare talent and thanked him for his dedicated service to the American people. In his own statement, Cohn said it's been an honor to serve and enact pro-growth economic policies to benefit the American people, in particular the passage of historic tax reform. Dave.
Rachel, a police officer killed in the line of duty last night in Clinton, Missouri. 2 other cops were wounded, shot when they all went into a house responding to a domestic disturbance. And then early this morning,
the Troop A SWAT team entered the residence and found the suspect deceased.
Missouri Highway Patrol Sergeant Bill Lowe. It's a stormy day in the Northeast. More than a foot of snow is forecast from Pennsylvania to Maine, closing schools, making a mess of the roads. Nearly 2,000 flights are grounded. Fox News, fair and balanced.
She ran Al Gore's presidential campaign. She served as the chair of the Democratic National Committee. She's considered one of the most influential Democrats in the country. And on Thursday, March 22nd, Donna Brazile will go head-to-head with AM 560's Dan Proft. It's Beyond the Talking Points with Dan Proft and Donna Brazile. They'll discuss, dissect, and debate the big issues dividing our country. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/beyond. Sponsored in part by AM Woodland Outdoor Design.
The clock is ticking. Every day you put off buying life insurance can cost you big time. The older you get, the more you'll have to pay. And a sudden accident or unexpected illness could cause your rates to skyrocket or even make you uninsurable. Beat the clock. Call SelectQuote now. No hassle, no obligation. In minutes, you'll have a choice of your best rates from up to 10 highly rated life insurance companies. Richard, 40 years old, takes meds to control his cholesterol. Still, SelectQuote got him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. Under $1 a day. Don't risk your family security another minute. Get your free quote now. Just call 800-694-1010. That's 800-694-1010. 800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Abilify, Wellbutrin, Seroquel, Rexulti. These drugs are commonly prescribed for depression treatment. 2018 can be the year you win the war on depression.
New year, new you.
Drugs for depression can be dangerous, have side effects, and really just mask the problem. TMS therapy treats the source of your depression. Cure or remission is here. HBR centers are proud to bring TMS therapy to Chicagoland and Milwaukee. Millions have been treated, and the results are outstanding.
TMS therapy is drug-free and non-invasive.
How does it work? TMS therapy uses safe, small magnetic fields, similar to those used in an MRI. They stimulate and activate mood centers, causing long-term medication-free relief. It's FDA cleared and covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare. Make the call. Ask questions. Bring an end to your depression. HPR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
HPR centers. Go to endmydepression.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. And should Plainfield High School students who are plotting a walkout of their school, Plainfield North High School, on March 14th in solidarity with the Parkland High School survivors and victims, if they plan this and execute this walkout, should they be subject to detentions, which is what the school officials have threatened?
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. Yeah, everybody, I mean, all the kids are doing it supposedly on March 14th. They're walking out of school for 17 minutes, 1 minute for each life lost in the Florida shooting. And one student who's, starting the, solidarity of students to walk out, her name is Emma Simpson. She goes to Plainfield North, and she's recruited students from Plainfield South to join her.
I don't understand why neighboring districts would allow their schools to do the same without any repercussions or consequences. And yet our district is doing that to us.
Yeah, so many things you don't understand, young lady. Different districts make different decisions, I suppose. Different adults make different judgment calls. The school superintendent, district superintendent.
Yeah, District 202.
Said, we're concerned about the safety of our students and the logistics of managing what could potentially be hundreds, if not thousands, of students walking out.
They're afraid because there's two busy streets that butt up against Plainfield North High School, and they're afraid if thousands of them come out, they could get hit by a car. Well, obviously, they're going to stop traffic. It's going to be very disruptive.
Yeah, well, that's all well and good. Here's the response that the superintendent should give if the superintendent was an adult, but they're PC-addled hacks that run these schools unless you get what you get. Here's the response. They're not going to do it without repercussions because I frackin' said so.
Well, no.
Because they're not, because the kids are not in charge of this school. That's why they're not going to do it. Because this is a place of learning. This is not something where the students drive the curriculum and do what they want, and then we make accommodations for them. This is where we're going to educate children, which is what our charge is, what taxpayers fund this institution to do. We're not going to let them run amok on their own terms, period.
Well, she claims, Emma Simpson, she's willing to take the detention because that's what she'll get if she walks out.
I feel like our safety is at risk anyway if we don't make this change.
If we can walk out of the school for 10 minutes once a month for a fire drill, we can walk out of the school this one time for this important message.
And what's the change that's going to improve their safety exactly?
I have no idea because I've been getting emails saying, make sure your kids walk out of Blaine on March 14th, time TBA, and join, to stop gun, or for stronger gun control legislation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
ACLU's involved, of course. Ed Yanka said this could be embraced as a civics lesson.
Could be.
Whether this is about this particular issue or whether it's about some other matter that a student feels strongly about, we would encourage them to be part of the Democratic body politic.
Yeah, what does that even mean? He's an idiot. Really? So any student who has anything that they want to protest, you'd encourage them to walk out of class whenever they feel like it. Oh, this is going to be make for an interesting educational setting, won't it? Clown.
They put up a little, what's her name there? Emma. She put up flyers around the school. The administrators have taken the informational flyers down about the protest. And I mean, do you think they should just lock the doors or have hall monitors by the door saying you can't leave? Because if thousands are going to, hundreds, possibly thousands.
Oh, yeah,
file
no,
out of the
I
school
know.
At the same time.
It's so difficult to control a school environment, isn't it? It's so difficult for adults, particularly the layers of adults we have in administrative posts in most of our school systems, thus the bloat. So difficult for them to control a bunch of students, isn't it? Make me superintendent for a day.
Oh, yeah, because you have principal for a day,
There won't be
Dan superintendent for a day.
There won't be a walkout, and there won't be any issues.
But if they do walk out, you'll maintain you'd give them a detention.
Well, they won't be walking out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what's going to happen. Here's how it's going to be. We got an all-school assembly tomorrow, and we're going to have a conversation about it. And I'm going to tell you what time it is. Yeah. And then I'm going to have the resources to enforce what time it is.
My kids aren't walking out. I told them there is no way in the world you are walking out for 17 minutes.
Would the ACLU support Nicole Martin walking out of Cherokee County, Georgia, her high school there? She writes in the Daily Signal today, an attack was foiled at my school. Why I oppose limiting gun rights. What about her? Or what about the kid at Parkland who's a pro-Second Amendment? What if he wanted to organize a walkout in favor of gun rights and self-protection? Would Ed Yanka be rallying to his defense?
Probably not.
Right, because he's a hypocrite and a goof. 4 months before the school shooting in Parkland, Florida, writes Nicole, my own school in Cherokee County, Georgia, was under serious threat. This is back in October. 2 17-year-old students were the perpetrators. Together, 2 juniors planned a Columbine-style attack using explosives, according to law enforcement. But campus police and the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office learned about the pair's plans ahead of time through a tip and reacted immediately to the first report. Imagine that. The 2 students are charged as adults with attempted murder and other offenses. If that threat had not been stopped, many people at my school would be dead. It could have been me, my brother, my closest friends, or all of us, but it was stopped. We're alive, writes Nicole. Reports and tips need to be taken seriously. Death is an unchangeable thing, and anyone who jokes about it is sick. A threat is not a joke. It's illegal and demands an immediate response. Next, teachers should be trained and armed with guns if they choose to be. I'm constantly hearing friends say that if teachers were armed, they would be too scared to shoot back. That's an offensive statement, and it needs to stop. The other thing is that so a couple of days ago, this Washington Post piece, this long profile piece on a school shooter, the profile of the school shooter. Did you see that? A few things stuck out as Charles Cook writes about the Stanford Review as well. As you looked at the author of the Washington Post piece go through different profiles of different mass shooters. First, this is a cognizant and uninterrupted game, not a momentary psychotic break, generally speaking. It is common for would-be school shooters to idolize the perpetrators of the massacres at Columbine, and again, Nicole Martin planning a Columbine-style attack. Yeah. She references her classmates. And they didn't just admire Columbine killers, they wanted to beat them, and the others that they inspired as if they were playing a video game. That idea came from somewhere, and it will be difficult to rid ourselves of it now that it was out of the bag, writes Charles Cook. So it's a copycat problem, which is why one of the things, and this is a right that's never discussed, one of the things is reporters, news outlets shouldn't be giving the names of school shooters. Psychologists will tell you that. But what do? They don't care about that. They don't want their First Amendment rights abridged. Everybody else's rights abridged. Second recurring point in these profiles. The shooter reveals that he thought seriously about whether his target would be a gun-free zone. It is known, Charles Cook commenting on that takeaway, it is by no means rare for those who would do harm to first scope out their destinations and to make sure they won't encounter much resistance. Ray in Chicago, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Oh, Ray, now you're on. There you go.
Yeah, I think the students should all have detentions if they walk out. I mean, I only went to school about 15 years ago in high school, and when things like this happen, like, for example, September 11th happened, we would take a moment of silence during homeroom for these things to remember all the victims and all that, and that's fine. But to walk out for more than half the time of what the time of you sitting in class would be, I mean, that's a little much.
Thanks for the call, Ray. I mean, here's the other thing that's happening. Speaking of copycatting, why are they doing this? Because they see adults behaving as virtue signaling simps on every issue. And also, what do they see in Parkland on the television? Kids walking out, the protests, the rallies, right?
Constantly, so bashing their legislature, saying that they're going to change, that this is the last high school shooting. And I wish to God that they were right. I mean, I, more than anybody, wishes that that's true. But the reality is, it's probably not.
Well, but the point is that this is just copycatting.
Right.
This is what they see. Monkey see, monkey
rights,
do.
And we should have the same and equal rights. And we have our right to First Amendment, free speech, and we have a right to protest. But you don't, because you're
not in. Well, you do, but not in school.
So you can't walk out May 14th.
Lewis in Texas.
Morning, Danny. How you doing this morning?
Good.
Good.
I think that not only should they get detention, maybe a day or two of suspension as well, because what that'll do is probably make the parents wake up and be aware to what their kids are doing. But, these kids walking out, what does that really accomplish? What signal are they really, what message are they really trying to convey and getting across?
It makes them feel good about themselves. That's the whole point.
But if these kids want to have, something about it, they need to have an open dialogue, as you stated. Go to a study hall, with the principal and all the student body, and discuss the issue, discuss the problem, not walk out like a bunch of immature little babies. I mean, what lessons does this teach these kids later on in life? When you get a job, if you don't agree with your boss, let me just walk out. The message that society and parents and other teachers and these members in Congress that are doing these walkouts because they don't agree with Trump and all this other stuff, this is the result of all that. All their actions are being watched by these young, impressionable, because these kids are still impressionable, young, impressionable minds, and this is what it's becoming. And remember, these kids are going to be our future.
Yeah,
so,
as I'm selling my bonds, as Reagan famously said. Thanks for the call, Lewis. I mean, the point is, rather than, I wouldn't even impose like discipline, like detention, suspension. I would impose intellectual discourse. I would expose them to ideas they haven't been exposed to. I'd fly Walter Williams in. Talk to somebody who went through Jim Crow and the civil rights movement, and let's talk about free speech, and let's talk about protesting real things, and let's talk about the difference between the individual and the state, and how one shrinks as the other grows. Let's have the full conversation from people that can actually drive a conversation to enlighten these impressionable minds that Lewis referred to. That seems so much more productive. Yeah, but they will abide by authority, like Hartman. Also, this, you mentioned it's not going to be the last one, this copycat problem, which is in the profile. Did you see this story out of Utah? Police said a homemade explosive device was the item discovered in a backpack at Pine View High School in St. George, Utah, on Monday, forced the evacuation of school. Police said if the device had detonated, it would have caused significant injury or death. They have a suspect in custody, male juvenile, whose home was searched. Items were found consistent with the materials used to build the device. Police also said the suspect had been researching information and expressing interest in ISIS and promoting the organization. He was attending a class at Pineview when he was arrested. He faces charges of manufacture, possession, sale, attempted use of a weapon of mass destruction. So there's that other angle, too, that we've forgotten about, the radicalization angle, still part of our tapestry, part of the threats that we face in all of our institutions, all of these soft targets, including schools, which is why another part of the conversation that we've had over the last several weeks is hardening those targets.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, new names for Donald Trump. What's that new name everybody wants to know about? David Dennison and Peggy Peterson. We'll explain what that means.
Shouldn't Double D be Stormy Daniels' nom de plume?
Nice. Double D. Forecast, breezy, cold with some clouds. More clouds than sun, actually. A high today of 31 degrees. Tonight, it's going to be chilly, a low of 20. And for Thursday, partly sunny and chilly. A little bit warmer, a high in the mid-30s. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here he is, Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dick. Boarding 8094 eastbound. We're seeing delays. Klein Avenue to before Burr with a crash to the two right lanes. Eden's 21 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 19. Kennedy 23 minutes. O'Hare to downtown outbound 23 as well. On Eisenhower delays are 25th to Austin. 40 minutes. 390 to downtown outbound 34. On Stevenson 45 minutes. 355 to the drive. Ryan 20 minutes. 95th to the loop. I-57 has outbound delays. 127th before Dixie Highway with a crash to the shoulder. Inbound, just a 1 or 2 minute delay. On Bishop Ford, though, you got a 10-minute delay from 111th to the Ryan. Northbound Tri-State tight approaching the Eisenhower. Eastbound Adams Tollway heavy approaching the Kennedy. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home? Then you need to do what I did and call the most honest lender in the mortgage business, Team Hochberg. You should know supporting veterans in Team Hochberg's passion. That's why they support Veteran Roasters. It's a Chicago coffee roaster with great coffee that hires homeless and chronically unemployed veterans. If you would like to help create jobs for homeless veterans, visit veteranroasters.com and purchase a 12-ounce bag of coffee ground by once homeless and unemployed veterans. Now, the coffee is delicious, and the profits are reinvested into hiring additional homeless veterans. Use promo code Team Hochberg to save 50% off the second bag you purchase. Veteran Roasters, they were on the ground for us, so buy these grounds for them. That's nice. Now, if you're a veteran securing a VA loan, you should work with a lender who supports veterans, and that lender is Team Hochberg. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but they can't help you if you don't call 312-751-1333 for straightforward, honest advice. Do what I did. Call Team Hochberg 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358, NMLS 19186.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Bruce Rauner lies so much, he reminds us of another Chicago politician.
If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor, period.
No wonder Republicans are abandoning you.
The Republican floor leader in the Illinois House is now leading a revolt of social conservatives against the party's governor.
Jeannie Ives won't tolerate lies and has lived by the cadet code. I will not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. And neither should you. Paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor. Only one candidate for governor consistently fights for Illinois taxpayers.
Our economy is too weak for a tax hike, and you know it. You know we need jobs, you complain about it all the time, and you won't fix our job creation problems.
That's why the tax watchdog group Tax Accountability endorsed Jeannie Ives over Bruce Rauner and made her the first state representative to earn a perfect score from the group. Jeannie Ives, the consistent conservative for Illinois governor. Paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Daryl has hired with Indeed.
Nothing has been this simple, this easy, and this effective.
Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, what are you doing up here on the roof?
I want to tell the world I just met the woman of my dreams. What about you?
I want to tell the world that Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
They saved me $782.
Oh, you go first then. $782 really puts finding love into perspective.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Did you know that studies have shown that we need over 10 servings of fruits and veggies every single day? If you're like me, it's hard to find the time and money to prepare and eat all of those fruits and vegetables. Who can do that? Yet we know that proper nutrition can prevent health problems, give us energy, and help us heal faster. Balance of Nature has spent over 20 years researching and delivering solutions to this problem. We can ensure that you consume over 30 different fruits and veggies every single day. Our capsules are filled with 100% real whole foods. There isn't a single thing added to Balance of Nature products. They're pure. We spent an incredible amount of time on the quality of our products. We do this for you. We do it for our own families. Give yourself a break and give your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas. Online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Did you know you could be paying up to 80% less for your family's medications? How? With GoodRx. GoodRx compares prices of every FDA-approved drug at pharmacies in your area and offers free downloadable coupons at GoodRx.com, so you get the best deals on all your medications. You'd be surprised at how much the prices can differ, even at pharmacies on the same block. Last year, GoodRx saved Americans over $2 billion on their medications. Just text GoodRx to 99,000 to learn how to start saving money today. Imagine paying even less than your insurance copay. GoodRx can sometimes find you medications for free. There are never any fees and no personal information is ever required. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions and save up to 80% instantly by texting the word GoodRx to 99,000. That's GoodRx to 99,000. Save today. Text GOODRX to 99000.
Message and data rates may apply. You will receive up to 4 automated text messages per month from GoodRx.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy and what's her name? Peggy Peterson has filed suit against David Dennison. Why should we be worried about this?
Well, she claims that President Trump, a.k.a. Double D, never signed that non-disclosure agreement, that just his attorney signed it and not him. So she's suing him. She filed a lawsuit yesterday in Los Angeles courtroom over this.
So she's not bound by the non-disclosure.
No, I don't think she's really been following the non-disclosure anyway. It's like this cat and mouse game that she's playing with the media, I think, to up her profile so she gets more hits on the YouTube and the Instagram. And
she got paid a couple weeks ago. She got paid $75,000 just to show up at a strip joint for a night.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she have to work the pole, Dan?
No, I think it was. I think she was a gateway stripper.
Oh, okay. But it's very strange because in the lawsuit that was filed, they talk about aliases, and through the whole thing they refer to Donald Trump as David Dennison. I thought his other name was Barron.
John Barron.
That's right.
John Barron's his PR agent.
Oh, that's right.
So you can't expropriate John Barron's name. That's his PR guy. That's his PR persona. So he needs another persona for the purposes of non-disclosure agreements with adult film stars.
And
although
Stormy
I just
Daniels,
the double D. I mean, that should be Stormy Daniels. Although you probably need one more D in there for her.
Well, I mean they are real. Stormy Daniels, who's really Stephanie Clifford. She was also, a.k.a. Peggy Peterson.
Yeah.
Double P and double D. So I don't know what these two kids are up to, but apparently they had a relationship that started a year after he met Melania during the time that Barron was born, and had an affair for a while.
That's the allegation. And then you've got Michael Cohen, his attorney, who made this $130,000 settlement.
Weird.
Of his own money, of his own volition. It's all very strange.
So she's claiming that the non-disclosure agreement is invalid, unenforceable, and or void under the doctrine of some unconscionability.
Yeah.
So because he didn't sign it, President Trump didn't.
Well, even if he would have signed it on the doctrine of unconscionability, it would be null and void because it can't be enforced. Okay.
Do you think Melania's waking up to this news this morning?
What's Melania's pseudonym or pseudo acronym?
Party Animals.
Well, that's a book.
Well, I know, but she's
Party Animal singular.
Party Animal.
That's not a person's name, though.
It will be someday.
Come up with
Party
something
Animals.
Slovakian.
Okay, I'll think of something.
Also, a related story, Nashville Mayor Megan Barry has resigned from her office as part of a guilty plea to a felony theft charge.
Yeah, apparently when they would go, she visited Greece for a 3-day conference, and she and her lover, who was her bodyguard, both of them were married to different people, they stayed on an extra 3 days.
It's just
at
like
the taxpayer expense.
It's like that Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston movie Come
My
to Life.
Bodyguard. Oh yeah.
Isn't it? Isn't it so romantic?
Do you know?
It's nice to see. It's a little reminder. Women politicians. Oh, all we need is women ruling the world. Then we won't have this corruption and scandal and war.
Scandals.
Yeah.
All right, you got me there.
Mayor Megan Barry, since she bears the same surname, I'm surprised she didn't use the "bitch set me up" defense.
Yeah, so she's gone. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
My visit to the City Club yesterday for lunch and a discussion of trying to crack the code on this riddle. Why are people leaving Illinois? Maybe you can help us shed some light on that at 6:36.
And later, the Tooth Fairy payouts are plummeting. We'll tell you why. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
26 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. President Trump losing another high-level aide. White House confirming Chief Economic Advisor Gary Cohn is resigning. President Trump is trying to tamp down on reports of turmoil in the administration.
The White House has tremendous energy. It has tremendous spirit. It is a great place to be working. Many people want every single job.
In a White House news event yesterday, the president says he likes the conflict and wants to hear different points of view. Cohn is a registered Democrat. An investigation is underway after a Missouri police officer was killed. 2 others injured by a gunman who barricaded himself inside of a home overnight and was later found dead inside.
They ended up going inside the residence in an attempt to apprehend the suspect. At that point in time, the suspect shot and killed one of the Clinton police officers.
Sergeant Bill Lowe is with the Missouri Highway Patrol. The French government this morning is proposing a new law stating that no one younger than 15 can consent to sex. It will be the first such law in France, which currently does not have a minimum age limit for sexual consent. Bond is set at over $1 million for a Plainfield teen charged with murdering his parents last week at Central Michigan University. James Davis Jr. made his initial court appearance from his hospital room via video. One woman is dead, struck by a CTA bus on Chicago's South Side. It happened last night at 79th and Lafayette. Meantime, a woman was killed after being struck by a semi-tractor trailer near 68th and Western. Police say that happened after the victim argued with another woman, then ran into the street. Authorities are searching for a 17-year-old girl who ran away from her northwest suburban home last week with her toddler son in tow. The pair were last seen last Friday in Des Plaines. Illinois lawmakers are once again trying to change the way the state draws political maps. State Representative Ryan Spain is pushing the latest attempt to create a 16-member commission to handle state house and congressional boundaries. Blackhawks over the Avalanche 2-1. Yu Darvish tossed 2 innings of work in the Cubs win over the Dodgers. Spring baseball for the White Sox saw a win over the Brewers 6-4. Local college hoops action. Notre Dame beat Pittsburgh in round 1 of the ACC tournament. DePaul squares off with Marquette in the Big East tournament. Doug Bruno and the DePaul women are Big East champs. They're headed to the NCAA tournament after a win over Marquette. The news, a service of Indeed.com. Indeed is used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. 6:34, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager defines a conservative.
The left is based on passion. It is not intellectually based. It is not rationally based. We're angry that people got killed, as I am too. I am just as angry as they. Then I ask with my mind, with my faculty of reason, what would work. The second you ask what would work, you are a conservative.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Stop by a Subway restaurant for the new double meat signature wraps for just $6.99 each. Prices may vary. Additional charge for extras plus applicable tax. Double meat based on average 6-inch sub.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Career politicians put jobs in Mexico ahead of jobs in Muncie. Jobs in Beijing ahead of Bloomington. And when our jobs disappeared, the insiders sat on their hands and did nothing. Businessman and outsider Mike Braun is running for U.S. Senate to bring Indiana jobs back. Family man, businessman, Christian, Mike Braun created hundreds of jobs here in Indiana. As senator, Mike Braun will help pass President Trump's agenda. Braun will repeal Obamacare once and for all, defund dangerous sanctuary cities, and finally build the wall. And Mike Braun will protect the right to life and stand up for our values. No more career politicians. Businessman, outsider, conservative. We need Mike Braun in the United States Senate. He puts Indiana and America first.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
6:35. Let's get an update on our roads this morning. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's inbound. Stop and go Niles Center to Montrose. 24 minutes, Lake Cook to the junction. Outbound 19. On Kennedy, delays start at Cumberland. 30 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 25. On Eisenhower, 55 minutes, 390 to downtown. It's a jam from 25th to California. Outbound 34 minutes. Stevenson, 45 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound okay. Ryan, 21 minutes, 95th to the Loop. I-57, 20 minutes, I-80 to the Merge. Base of 436. On Tri-State Slope, Plainfield Road to 47th, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Eastbound 8094, delays of Comply before Burr with a crash in the right lane. Westbound, it is heavy in that area as well with Gapers Traffic Service and Staples. Staples can help your business stand out with custom printed signs, banners, and brochures. Now at Staples, get $5 off your next print marketing services purchase. You spend $50 or more. Standout materials equals outstanding results. Offer in-store only, ends 3/24. Exclusions apply. Staples. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. A breezy day ahead. It'll be colder, more clouds than sunshine. We'll top out at 31, a winter's day, if you will. Cloudy, cold, 20 overnight, partly sunny and chilly. And a high near 35 tomorrow. 26 degrees officially at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Goldstone Financial, helping you become financially independent at goldstonefinancialgroup.com.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
It's my new jam. I love the song. Speak Life by Toby Mac. You should really put it on your iTunes.
No. Dan and Amy, good morning.
It's too positive.
So I was at City Club yesterday participating in a panel discussion to address this vexing question. Why are people leaving Illinois? You got any clues out there in the listening audience why people would be leaving our fair state? Only Illinois and West Virginia have seen population loss for the last 4 consecutive years. 225,000 people have left Illinois in the last 2 years net. That's the worst out-migration in the country. People moving in making 55,000, people moving out making 75,000. So the upward mobility spread is also the largest in the nation. We have seen the most anemic recovery of manufacturing jobs in the Midwest since the depths of the Great Recession. That's about 1/10 of what Michigan has seen by comparison. We are actually net losing population, which is why Pennsylvania has surpassed Illinois as the 5th most populous state in the nation, and Rhode Island's not far behind us now.
Wow. And so they had you gather to ask you why people are leaving Illinois?
Yeah, 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. You got any clues? Because the elites that attend these City Club lunches, the professionals and the deep thinkers in the kind of establishment, C-suites and powers of government and educational institutions, so forth. That's who attends the City Club. It's a left group, but I appreciate the fact that they invited me to give an alternate perspective, and they have done a better job of inviting conservatives of late, so that's good. So you're getting more diversity of viewpoint and real discussion, and in some respects, more opportunity for Jeremiads like I delivered yesterday throughout the lunch. But so there's a Simon Institute study Paul Simon Institute down at Southern Illinois University. They just say, found half the people want to leave the state. Half.
Half
of 13 million people want to get out of here. That's not an indictment, though. And the reason that was most often cited, taxes. But I know that can't really be the case. So what are people really trying to say? I mean, that's essentially what they think. That's essentially what policymakers say. No. I know you said taxes, but let's talk about what's really at the root of that. Because it can't be taxes. It can't be what you're telling me. It's got to be something else. So what is it really? And so I made the point that, well, I made many, but it was more entertaining to listen to Roderick Sawyer, Chicago alderman, and Mary Mitchell, columnist for the Sun-Times, the panel moderated by our friend Kristen McQuarrie of the Tribune. Listen to them tell us what the problem is.
What did they say?
Mary Mitchell thinks it's largely a marketing problem because she was recently on a Caribbean cruise, and people, when she said she was from Illinois, in discussions with her fellow travelers, probably in more ways than one, they made fun of her. So we got a marketing problem.
Oh. Made fun of her for what? For living there with the high taxes or with all the crime? Or?
Yeah, I mean, all of the above. But it's just a marketing problem. Okay. Yeah, we just have to do better Chamber of Commerce commercials. Yeah. Roderick Sawyer said, despite the fact we have the highest black unemployment rate of any urban center in the country, everything's going well in his Southside ward. Oh, he's picking it up and putting them down. But his big idea, which tells you everything, he had two. One is like modernize our sales tax to generate more revenue for the city, which tells you everything you need to know about the perspective. The perspective is, how do we get more revenue for the city? That's the government-centric viewpoint. That's the government-centric culture in this state that has destroyed it, which is why, by the way, we're the only state. Well, I think Ohio may, but it's much closer. Illinois, 175,000 more government jobs and manufacturing jobs.
Wow.
Because that's how you have a robust, dynamic economy that attracts people and investment, right? Government jobs, government growth. So that was one idea. And the other is a Marshall Plan for the urban centers. Infrastructure, rebuild the urban centers, public financing of infrastructure, rebuild the urban centers with the money that we don't have. Junk-rated city, junk-rated CPS. Illinois, one click above junk-rated. By the way, during Governor Rauner, the turnaround artist, 3 years, Illinois has been downgraded. Illinois' credit rating has been downgraded 8 times. So there you got your ideas there. You got your marketing. Need to spend more money, grow government. And we need to get more revenue into the government so that they can spend more money. Does that make sense to you? Do you think that's the way back? That'll be attractive for people to come here rather than flee to such tropical destinations as Northwest Indiana, Kenosha.
I tell you, one of my neighbors, she's been here for 30-plus years, and I saw her in church, and she came up to me and was just crying. She's like, I am heartbroken. My husband's retiring in April, and we cannot afford to live here because of the property taxes.
And here's what
I mean, these were pillars of our community, and just broke my heart. And she's like, what did I do wrong, Amy? I should have taken this job when I had a chance. I should have worked extra hours. I said, no, your government failed you. You're not a failure.
Hey.
There's a big difference. And what they pay in property. And I said, what about the senior exemption? That's only $500 less a year. That's nothing.
Doesn't keep up. I mean, it's a joke.
It is a joke. So now they have to move to Wisconsin.
So
we have to say goodbye to yet another neighbor.
So here's the problem with that, and I'm going to quote Roderick Sawyer here, alderman from Chicago, because obviously I would defer to our political ruling class.
Oh, of course.
Office holders. They know more. They know everything because that's who we defer to, so I'll join the club. What you're doing there is a problem, and let me tell you what the problem is.
Oh, am I having a timeout now?
You're blaming people.
Oh.
All you're doing is playing the old blame game, Amy. And you can't blame the people in charge. You know why?
Why?
Because they're working on it.
Oh, okay.
And there's plenty of blame to go around.
Upended.
You should hear these people. And I was very aggressive and very argumentative.
No, you? That's not like you, Dan.
Well, I mean, even more so. And it was not just pointed at the simps that were part of my panel.
Yeah.
It was also pointed at the audience.
Were they under processing what you were saying? Or were they in denial?
I don't know. But here's what I think. That you have to hit people in this state rhetorically with a 2x4 across the forehead repeatedly before anything penetrates. Because otherwise they fall back, and this is Republicans too, fall back on these tired bromides about we're working on it, not as bad as you think, plenty of blame to go around. I'm fiscal conservative. We need to get together and work on stuff, get in a room, hash it out. We need to, think of the working family. We need to be for working families. It needs to be more fair. All of this pablum that is spewed in every direction, and it's all lies. And people in that audience are as big of, generally speaking, particularly some of the members of the press corps that were there, are as big of perpetrators as the lies as the panelists, as the politicians, as the op-ed writers. They all preach good government. I'm for good, honest government. And they support the same government. And that's what the voters do, too. And that's what they'll probably do again on March 20th and probably do again in some form or fashion in November. And that's why people will continue to leave. Because people who know better and who aren't the beneficiaries of the Ponzi schemes at present, by the way, the benefits of those Ponzi schemes to those beneficiaries, you better take your money and run, and a lot of people are, because those Ponzi schemes are going to collapse. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. It'll come crashing down on you. It will be visited upon your doorstep. Nobody gets out of this racket without incident, except Ed Burke and Mike Madigan and the political ruling class. But that's the play. That's the play. And so people who aren't in on it, who aren't benefiting from it, are going to leave if and when they can. And the only people that really get punished, the champagne socialists that stay aren't going to get punished because they're insulated from terrible public policy. The people that get punished are actually one group of beneficiaries that are treated as serfs by the feudal lords. That's the beneficiaries of transfer payments, who are kept down through the welfare state, who are not in control of their own lives. And the champagne socialists think they're doing somebody a favor. And they're not. They're keeping people down. They're oppressing people, disproportionately minorities, but they're oppressing people. And what's Mary Mitchell say? At the last question, this was great. The last question, one public policy that that has the kind of best opportunity for to improve the situation in Illinois. One public policy.
What'd she say?
Jobs, jobs, jobs.
That was her answer?
Yeah, that's her answer because she doesn't have an answer.
What did Roderick Sawyer say? Did he?
The Marshall Plan for the inner cities.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Jobs, jobs, jobs. So one guy says government spending, and the op-ed columnist who routinely moralizes about Chicago being the most segregated most segregated city in the country. Oh, by the way, who's been in charge of it for 100 years? Mary, your party. Your party. And routinely talks about the lack of opportunity, the lack of quality education. Who's been in charge of it, Mary? Your party. Your people. Okay. Her answer is jobs, jobs, jobs. And if I wasn't there, you know what the reaction would have been from most of that crowd? To bark at her like seals. Harumph, harumph, harumph. It was like having a panel with Governor William J. LePetamine and Hedley Lamar. It's a blazing saddle skit. It's not a panel discussion. Jobs, jobs, jobs. But Mary Mitchell supports all of the policies that destroy capital formation and job creation. And yet she decries jobs, jobs, jobs. And you know what? She's like a majority of the electorate in this state. So when you're looking at the face of that and listening to either the disingenuousness of it or the ignorance of it or some combination of the two, what do you expect right-thinking people to do? What do you expect productive people to do? Stay and take it? Like they're bound to the land in Illinois? No, they're not. They're not going to do it, and they are proving they're not going to do it. Mike in Riverside, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Our family of 6, the kids are all out of the house now, but none of them are planning on returning to Illinois. and my wife and I are packing the boxes today to leave.
Wow.
And the primary reason being, just as you said, taxes. Too high of taxes, we just can't keep up, and employment opportunities, just too few.
Where are you moving?
And a strong desire not to join in the game and find government employment.
What? Okay, all good reasons. To where are you moving?
Well, the political climate isn't too much different, probably, but out to Oregon. That's where I'm from originally, but I've been here 35 years.
Thanks for the call, Mike. Sorry to see you go, but I understand what you're saying. Dennis in Villa Park.
Yeah, the comment about 13 million people wanting to move out of the state, how many of them actually voted for the people that are creating this mess?
Absolutely.
And I have a interesting thing. I'm close to retirement, and I have a cousin who's very liberal, same thing. We discussed about retirement. He said he wants to move out of the state. And I said, you can't move out of the state because wherever you're going to go, you're going to bring your stupid voting with you.
Move to a different state than I'm moving. Vince in St. Charles.
Okay, I moved in this townhouse in St. Charles. I figured, well, I got good credit, a nice no basement townhouse. And then my tax bill is $9,000. And that's now without insurance. By the way, I enjoy the show. And so now I'm paying for 2 mortgages. I'm out of the state. Because last thing I do, I'm out of here. I'm going to vote Republican. Sorry, apologize. But yeah, I'm out of the state. First chance I get. It's going to be some work because you have to find a job, but I got to get out. If I have to get out when I retire, then it has to be, but I'm going to get out. I'm leaving.
Thanks for the call, Vince.
I have a friend who has a second job just to pay her property taxes.
Yeah, well, sure.
Think of how ridiculous that. And she makes pretty good money, but her property taxes are crazy high.
How many people have their property taxes are more than the mortgage payment and interest?
Me.
Yeah, a lot of people.
My
Destroying
mom has
home
the same,
equity.
My mom lives in Tucson, has the same size house as mine, pays $1,400 a year.
And you pay?
A lot.
Well, it's public record.
12,000.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
went up from 10 to 12. Just
Exactly.
like that. And I got a garbage tax too now. It's a sewer tax. It's just crazy.
Hey, Vincent St. Charles and all these other people moving, while we have your attention, don't forget you can listen online.
Oh.
Yeah, to the show.
That's right.
You don't have to
Download
leave
the
the show.
AM 560 The Answer app. Let's see what
We're going to have a
happens.
bigger audience out of state than.
Yes.
Yeah. But this is great. No, as I said yesterday, the Illinois politicians that you all voted for, Brady and Durkin, the 2 Republican leaders in the legislature, been there a combined 40 years. Madigan and Cullerton, a combined 80 years. Same old people, same old policies. They're getting Illinois moving to Wisconsin and Indiana and Tennessee and Kentucky and Florida. Jay in Lowell, Indiana.
Yes, sir. The other gentleman kind of stole my thunder. I live in Indiana. I moved from Illinois back in 1995. Problem is, all these people want to move out to Indiana or Wisconsin, like you said, but yet they bring their Democrat ways with them. They're just destroying our state now.
Yeah.
Like in Porter County, if you look, it's getting way more blue.
That's a good point, Jay. You know what? I would suggest that you build a wall and make Illinois pay for it.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. The Interior Secretary wants government to partner with oil companies. Danny Glover shouted down at an Airbnb rally and a class action lawsuit against Toyota. Those stories next.
Hey, this is Ricky from Banyan Hill. You like freedom? I do. You like money? I do too. If you like freedom and money, then you're going to love Freedom Checks. You see, over the next few months, an estimated $34.6 billion is up for grabs to anyone who stakes their claim. Yep, you heard that right. $34.6 billion. To get all the details, just go to www.myfreedomchecks.com. Thousands of people are already lined up to cash in. Take Doug, for example. He's a 46-year-old from Joplin, Missouri who's set to get a check for $24,075. And if Doug can do this, I've got a hunch that you can too. But here's the thing. If you want the chance to grab your full fair share of this $34.6 billion payout, you must have your ducks in a row by April 1st. So don't wait. Get over to www.myfreedomchecks.com before the April 1st deadline. That's www.myfreedomchecks.com.
After decades of conflicts, Interior Secretary Zinke says it's time his department partnered with the oil and gas industry. Zinke says the idea of long regulatory reviews before exploration can begin on public lands are un-American. Actor Danny Glover shut it down as he tried to speak at an Albany, New York rally in favor of the rental site Airbnb. Union activists blasted the 71-year-old actor who finally left the state capitol because of the heckling. And today we'll have updates on consumer credit, ADP's weekly employment report, and the latest on productivity and international trade. And U.S. consumers have filed a class action lawsuit against Toyota and Japan's Kobe Steel for concealing the use of substandard metal in their cars. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7/11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Gentlemen, when it comes to good health and quality of life, there are numbers every man needs to know, including our testosterone number. I personally recommend my friends at Low T Center. That's where I got my levels tested recently. They make it quick and easy. You walk in, take a simple blood test, and with the convenience of their on-site laboratory, you'll know your results in about 20 minutes. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy, cause lack of motivation and drive. It can even raise your cholesterol levels, cause weight gain, and loss of muscle mass. If you've been experiencing any of these symptoms, it's time to get your levels checked. At Low T Center, they accept most health insurance and will verify it for you. Low T Center's physicians specialize in treating low testosterone levels in men. They know men's health and are reinventing men's health care. When it comes to your health and daily quality of life, do what I did. Get your numbers checked. You owe it to yourself. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 or go to lowtcenter.com for more information. That's lowtcenter.com.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Jeannie Ives might be Mike Madigan's favorite Republican. The Madigan machine has bankrolled Ives with thousands of dollars in shady labor union cash, turning Jeannie Ives into another Mike Madigan lackey. Listen to Ives defend Madigan.
Now we're going to call Mike Madigan a crook. Now we're going to call Mike Madigan a crook.
Instead of attacking Madigan's corrupt ways like Bruce Rauner, Jeannie Ives defends Madigan.
He's picking on Mike Madigan again. He's picking on Mike Madigan again.
Ives won't even commit to immediate repeal of the Madigan income tax hike.
You need legislator approval to repeal that, obviously, so you'd have to have them decide to do that, to repeal it, right? I can't guarantee what the legislator is going to send me in the bill.
Jeannie Ives, guaranteed to defend and defer to Mike Madigan.
I don't think that's any way to deal with the powerful Speaker of the House, Mike Madigan.
Paid for by Citizens for Rauner, Inc.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Amanda Zanger, owner of Black Industrial and Safety Supply in Hammond, Indiana, and a business customer of Signature Bank. Prior to owning my own business, I worked for a major financial institution. So when it came time to finance the acquisition of Black, I approached a big bank, only to receive a solid no. That's when Signature Bank stepped in. With Signature Bank, the process was different. Signature provided creative financing options that enabled me to purchase Black and continue to grow the business. Thanks to Signature Bank, Black Industrial is able to continue serving Fortune 500 industry fabricators and contractors with tools and safety supplies as we have since 1893.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Washington is full of career politicians. It's time we put everyday Americans back in charge of your government. I'm Dr. Supan Shah. My parents immigrated here with nothing in their pockets. They worked tirelessly to give me the American dream. Now, as a physician and successful entrepreneur, I'm running for Congress to bring real-world experience to Washington. I will heal our broken healthcare system, bring jobs back to the 10th District, and then term limit myself and get out of the way for the next citizen legislator. I knew it would be difficult taking on the entrenched politicians. The insiders have come after me with everything they've got, even lying to scare you from voting for the only outsider and the only candidate born right here in the 10th District. Here's the choice you have: more of the same or a new path. You can vote for politics as usual or for common sense and real-world experience. Republicans, the choice is yours. I'm Dr. Supan Shah. I approve this message, and I humbly ask for your vote so I can bring common sense back to Washington. Learn more at drshawforcongress.com.
What's happening? What does it mean? Why is it important? We've got the answer. AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
Is giving sanctuary to illegal immigrants illegal? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The U.S. Attorney General thinks so, and he'll go to California today after filing a federal lawsuit challenging the state's new laws. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, Attorney General Jeff Sessions expected to outline the government's case against California. The Justice Department claims sanctuary policies make it impossible for federal immigration officials to do their jobs. Former Sacramento County Sheriff John McGinnis says the conflict is tough on law enforcement officers and
It's also employers and landlords who are getting conflicting messages from the state and the federal government.
the move comes after Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf warned illegal immigrants about a pending ICE raid. Critics say she obstructed justice, but Schaaf says she broke no laws. Dave.
Rachel, California's governor calls the lawsuit a stunt. President Trump tweeted this morning, "We must win again," detailing all the factories and jobs lost in recent decades as he pushes for new tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. The European Union says it's ready to retaliate, targeting American products like Harley-Davidson and Levi's. The president's own economic advisor is against his plan, and now Gary Cohn has resigned.
The White House says that he'll be staying on for a few more weeks, though, transitioning to a new economic advisor who will come in. We don't know who that will be just yet. White House officials say that this has actually been in the works for several weeks now.
Fox's John Roberts. Wall Street doesn't seem to like the news. Stock futures way down before the opening bell. A murder in Missouri. The victim? A police officer shot as cops responded to a domestic disturbance.
They ended up going inside the residence in an attempt to apprehend the suspect.
Highway Patrol Sergeant Bill Lowe says 2 other officers were wounded. Early this morning, a SWAT team found the gunman dead in the home. The porn star who claims she had an affair with Donald Trump years before he was elected president is now suing him, trying to invalidate the non-disclosure agreement she signed, preventing her from discussing the alleged relationships. The president's attorney paid Stormy Daniels using his own money. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Outside, we have more clouds than sunshine, 26 degrees, and with 14-mile-an-hour winds, we have a wind chill of 12 above at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Bond said over just over $1 million for a Plainfield teen charged with murdering his parents last week at Central Michigan University. James Davis Jr. made his initial court appearance yesterday in Isabella County, Michigan, via video from his hospital bed. One woman is dead after being struck by a CTA bus on Chicago's South Side. Chicago police tell us the incident happened last night while the bus was making a right turn onto 79th Street from Lafayette Avenue. Meantime, authorities are investigating a crash involving a CTA bus on Chicago's South Side that left 6 hurt. Police say the bus slammed into a Chevy Suburban, making a turn early this morning near 74th and Halstead. The impact caused that bus to hit a tree, a fire hydrant, then a vacant CTA bus shelter. A woman was killed, struck by a semi-tractor trailer on Chicago's South Side. Police tell us the accident happened early this morning near 68th and Western. The victim ran into traffic while arguing with another woman. An investigation continues following a head-on crash in Berwyn that killed a single mother. Police say Myra Rivera was driving on Ogden Avenue when a Nissan crossed the center line and collided with her vehicle near Ridgeland Avenue. Both cars exploded on the scene. Rivera died at the scene while 2 others in the Nissan remain hospitalized. Police believe speed was a factor in that crash. A new poll says more than 8 of 10 people in the state believe Illinois is headed in the wrong direction. It's a poll released yesterday by the Paul Simon Public Policy Institute at SIU. It asked registered voters if they think the state, the country, and the local community are on the right track. Pollsters said mostly their local community and the country is on track, but 89% of people polled says Illinois is headed in the wrong direction. Jonathan Taves, the game winner, Blackhawks over the Avalanche, 2-1. Bulls slapped on the wrist by the NBA after significantly reducing the roles of center Robin Lopez and guard Justin Holiday. The NBA ordering them to rejoin the rotation. Bulls close out a 3-game homestand against the Grizzlies at the United Center later tonight. The news, a service of Staples. At Staples, you can upgrade your office and still save money And this week at Staples, save big on a full range of office and desk chairs, some up to 50% off. A better chair equals a better workday. Ends 3/10. Staples, it's pro time. 7:05, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Bruce Rauner, you're lying to us. Again. You're lying about conservative Jeannie Ives, calling her Madigan's favorite Republican, and everyone knows it. Didn't you enact Madigan's liberal agenda from taxpayer-funded abortions to making Illinois a sanctuary state? Didn't you bail out Chicago public school pensions, helping your buddy Rahm on the backs of Illinois families? No wonder GOP lawmakers demand you stop your shameful distortions and fabrications of Jeannie Ives' record. No wonder Republicans are abandoning you.
Republican floor leader in the Illinois House, and he is now leading a revolt of social conservatives against the party's governor.
You even promised to protect our veterans. Now you're letting them die of Legionnaire's disease in Quincy. Rauner failed our veterans, failed our state, and he fails to tell us the truth. That's why Crane's newspaper said the governor is in full Pinocchio mode. Doesn't Illinois deserve better than Governor Pinocchio? Cast your ballot for the candidate with a proven record of integrity and fidelity to conservative values. Vote Jeannie Ives for governor, paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor.
The clock is ticking. Every day you put off buying life insurance can cost you big time. The older you get, the more you'll have to pay. And a sudden accident or unexpected illness could cause your rates to skyrocket or even make you uninsurable. Beat the clock. Call SelectQuote now. No hassle, no obligation. In minutes, you'll have a choice of your best rates from up to 10 highly rated life insurance companies. Richard, 40 years old, takes meds to control his cholesterol. Still, SelectQuote got him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. Under $1 a day. Don't risk your family's security another minute. Get your free quote now. Just call 800-694-1010. That's 800-694-1010. 800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Yep. Traffic. It is what it is.
Stalled cars on the Kennedy Expressway.
Missed concerts, football games, lots of cold dinners, and cold shoulders from Cindy. How much longer do I have to do this? Kids miss me. Cindy misses me. Our marriage is missing me.
From Tabota and Associates.
Then I heard Jack Tabota on the radio again.
Financial strategy designed to help them retire sooner.
What do I have to lose? So I called him. We met, discussed my numbers, then just talked. Talked about life, family, retirement, then something I didn't expect. Jack says retirement wasn't as far off as I thought. And today, the only thing I'm missing is the traffic.
Do you need a financial strategy for retirement? Let's talk. Tabota and Associates, 630-777-7955. 630-777-7955. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AE Wealth Management and Tabota and Associates are not affiliated companies.
7:08 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. In Northwest Indiana, ramps from Klein Avenue in both directions to 8094 are closed. Going to eastbound 8094 due to a crash involving a tank truck and two other vehicles. Got delays. And 8094 eastbound, Klein before Burn with the right lane blocked. Westbound, Chase to before Klein. Edens is 24 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 22. Kennedy inbound delays start at Cumberland. 46 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 20 from Montrose, 16 on the Express. Outbound 18 minutes to Montrose, 34 to the airport. About Eisenhower. An hour and 2 minutes now, 390 to downtown. 46 minutes from Manheim, outbound 34 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 5 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 36 minutes. Ryan, 21 minutes, 95th to the loop. I-57, 22 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop Ford, 39. Delays in the northbound tri-state from the Stevenson to 47th and the Reagan-Tilway to North Avenue. Northbound Veterans Memorial heavy, 75th, Reagan-Tilway. There are flight cancellations due to weather in the northeast. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today breezy with more clouds than sun. High 31, mostly cloudy tonight, low 20. Partly sunny tomorrow, high 35. Then a mainly clear night, low 21. Some sun Friday, high 38. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
Mostly cloudy and 27 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and we spent a lot of time talking about the governor's primary, Ives versus Rauner, but there's other statewide primary elections on the Republican side that we should take note of as well. We've spoken with Erica Harold before on this show. She is a candidate for Attorney General in the Republican primary, where you've got about, 8 candidates on the Democrat side, including former Governor Pat Quinn. But
that's going to be a tight race.
Well, it could be interesting, especially if Quinn's the nominee.
Yeah. Do you think Quinn will get it?
Residual name ID and goodwill on the Democrat side, I think Quinn would be the favorite. I could see Raul winning, but I think Quinn is probably the favorite in the closing days. We'll see. And also some recent polling has the Republican contest for the Attorney General nomination quite close as well, basically a statistical dead heat. Erica Harold is one candidate. The gentleman who joins us now is the other candidate. He's a DuPage County board member, former mayor of Burr Ridge, and attorney, of course, Gary Grasso. Gary, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy. Appreciate you having me on.
No problem. So the rationale for your candidacy, why you would make a better GOP nominee than Ms. Harold?
Well, it's all about qualifications and experience. Dan, I've been a litigator, which is what the key role of the Attorney General is. I've been a litigator for 40 years, almost. My opponent has very little actual litigation experience. I have tried cases. I've handled hundreds of cases in civil litigation. I've been at major firms downtown, have my own firm now. And so that's key to why I'd be the better candidate. Also, I'm a former mayor, as you said. I'm also the chairman of the 911 board in DuPage County. I have extensive public service and a record of achievement. So I also know how to run an office. Don't forget, the Attorney General is an office where it's probably the second biggest public law firm in the state of Illinois. There's over 350 attorneys there, an equal number of staff. So I have that experience too. My opponent really hasn't managed anything. She's, I don't believe, even a partner in her own law firm. So you have to look at my qualifications. And, I could have left the state. I could be one of those out-migrators. I'm going to be here to fight for the people of Illinois. I'm the right guy with the right experience to go after the Cook County Democrat political system, and that's going to be my number one priority.
Well,
corruption.
Let me just press in the experience thing a bit, because as Oscar Wilde famously observed, experience is what we call our failures. I think there's too much deference paid to experience in this state, which is why we keep putting the same people in the same office. Well, what's their qualification? I've been here. Well, that's not much of a qualification. Performance is the qualification. So just speaking to all of those positions you've held and the posts that you've where you've been in a leadership position, tell us a bit about accomplishments, performance in those areas that would translate to the Attorney General's office.
Right. So on the litigation side, I've been very successful in my practice. Dan, I've been successful in my cases representing many clients. Of course, like anybody else, as you say, experience part of that is that you don't always win every case, but from experience is where you get judgment, and that's really, really what's important here. On the public service side, I've been a successful mayor. I got a lot of help from others, but I was the mayor in Burr Ridge when we built the Village Center in the worst economic times at no true expense to the taxpayers. We built a new police department, properly financed. We brought in Loyola as one of their major out-campus facilities in Burr Ridge. I also was able to get many public services and the bridge branded over I-55 for the benefit of our taxpayers in Burr Ridge. Now, on the 911 board, I have been the chairman there where we've consolidated down. So what have I done there? With the help of a lot of people also prior to me and currently, we have consolidated. I'm a big person about consolidating government. We have way too much government in this state. And we brought the 911 board down from 22 call centers to 3. And in that period, we have saved the taxpayers $7 to $8 million annually in DuPage. And what have we done with that money? We've turned it into more technology and better service. So when you look at my experience and my accomplishments, that's exactly why I'm the better choice.
Well, yeah, you do sound like you have a nice resume there, an accomplished career, but why do you want this job?
Well, I have. My wife and I will be married 40 years in May. We have 6 grown children, 3 grandchildren. I've got a lot at stake in Illinois. And again, I could take the easy way out. I could be one of the out-migrators. I don't want to pay these high property taxes anymore, which are rampant throughout the entire state of Illinois. The equity in people's homes have been diminished because of the leadership that would be to Dan's point. We put in the same people. Who are those same people? Mike Madigan and his cronies. We have to go.
Yeah, although you could argue that, and I would argue that Republicans have done a lot of that same people business too, which is why the Republican Party is in the super minority position, despite the state being destroyed by those Chicago Democrats. So there's, this is a conspiracy of fools of sort, to borrow David Foster Wallace.
Have you had any?
I'm not
debates?
amongst those.
Oh, well, I can see the point, but so
I'm not amongst those people, Dan, and I'm going to go after those people. We have accepted this way of doing business in Chicago. Oh, it's okay. That's the Chicago way. That it's wrong. It's been wrong for the 30 years, 40 years that Madigan and his people. Just look at the whole property tax assessment system. Look at what has been uncovered as to the cronyism there. That's where they get their money.
I know.
That's where they get their power. We got to break that.
It's so weird because Mike Madigan sits on a committee that sets tax codes, and then he owns a company where he reduces power for people's property taxes. It's just mind-blowing. And his daughter, Lisa, has been the attorney general for 16 years.
Right, and so that's a blatant conflict of interest. Look, lawyers are supposed to not put themselves in conflicts of interest, not have semblance of impropriety. We have accepted that the longest-serving Speaker of any House in America, and now the longest-serving Attorney General in Illinois history, have been there, father and daughter, protecting each other. She ran on a platform in '02 on public corruption. She has done nothing. Give you another example: the sexual harassment issues that have just come up. Outrageous. Never tolerable anywhere. What does Mike Madigan do? Oh, I'm gonna appoint my own committee. What? You're going to appoint your own committee to investigate yourself? Susan Mendoza and other people that he's put in office. Where is Lisa Madigan on this? This is exactly where I will be, where the Attorney General should be.
So
we can't tolerate this anymore.
So when there are things like, for example, the General Assembly failing to appoint a legislative inspector general for 3 years, you're gonna be at the tip of the spear, making sure the legislators, making sure public officials are abiding their responsibilities under the law, and number one, and number two, if they run afoul of the law, you're not going to wait for 219 South Dearborn. You're going to get involved and prosecute corruption.
I will, Dan. It's exactly part of the Attorney General's job. I use the word all, A-L-L. It is to advocate. It is to recommend remedial legislation, which I could get into too, and of course, primarily to litigate, which I think I have the great experience. But that's what you do. You advocate. You use the bully pulpit. You shine the bright light. You say, Inspector General, do your job. Public access officer, do your job. And I will do that as Attorney General. And as a Republican, I can do that. And I'm the independent Republican in this. My opponent is fully on board with the governor. The governor just financed her campaign again. She keeps saying, oh, I'm not. He just put a whole bunch of money in her campaign because this race is neck and neck. She is bought and owned by the governor. I am independent. I'm putting my own money into this campaign. I could leave the state, but I want to be the next attorney general.
For more information on your campaign, people can go where, Gary?
GaryGrasso.com.
Grasso, GaryGrasso.com. Gary, Republican candidate for Attorney General, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck. Appreciate it.
Dan, Amy, thank you for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
No problem. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, the rise of Chris Kennedy and what happened to Biss. But first, here's your forecast. Breezy, colder. We have sunshine right now and some clouds, too. A high of 31 degrees. Tonight, a low of 20. And for Thursday, partly sunny, chilly, a high of 35 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is the one and only Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. Northwest Indiana, 8094 eastbound at Klein Avenue. The on-ramps from Klein in both directions are closed. There's a major wreck there. There's delays on eastbound 8094 Klein and before Burr, where there's a crash in the right lane, and westbound from Broadway to before Klein. The Toll Road is fine. It's an alternate. Edens, Lake Cook to Montrose is 24 minutes, outbound 22. Kennedy, 53 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 28 from Montrose, 19 in the Express, outbound 34 to the airport. Van Eyck, an hour and 2 minutes, 390 to downtown, 46 minutes from Manheim, outbound 34 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 5 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 39 minutes. Ryan, 23 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 39 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Delays on the northbound Tri-State Harlem to the Hinsdale Oasis, from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, northbound Veterans Memorial from Boughton to the Reagan Tollway. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Ever hire a plumber at an odd time for an emergency? The hourly rate could send you into cardiac arrest. It'd be nice to have someone on call 24/7 for those once every few year emergencies, but probably not necessary. Now your business is IT? That's a completely different story. The potential for problems if your IT system isn't properly maintained could be more than those once every few year plumbing backups. For peace of mind, turn to Turnkey IT. Their monthly support contracts will keep your business's computer systems online and running well. No more waiting for an hourly IT tech to get back to you and charging you an enormous after-hours rate. The certified pros at Turnkey will keep your business's computer system online with unlimited on-site and remote support. And for a limited time, you can save up to $500 a month on a support contract, plus unlimited cloud backup at no cost. Get the secure feeling your business backbone is supported by Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
People have long associated the Ozinga name with concrete, but truth be told, Ozinga has always been on a quest to create a better world. We want to help you build your business so you can provide for your family, create better jobs, and build your community. It's why we constantly engineer better concrete, haul raw materials, and supply cleaner fuel. Together, we can positively impact the places where we live, work, and play throughout the Chicagoland area. To learn more, go to ozinga.com. That's OZINGA.com.
So, you're a truck driver, a clutch cowboy, a wrangler of the road. At Ozinga, you are exactly who we need. Concrete truck drivers. People who aren't afraid of a little adventure and hard work. If you're tired of monotony and are looking to build something that matters, then come build with us. At Ozinga, we are building our families, our communities, and our country. Apply online today at ozinga.com. That's OZINGA.com.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher and Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher and Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher and Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at KelleherBuckley.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
Starting Balance of Nature, I felt that the first month I felt different. It made such a difference that now I wake up, my head feels clearer, I have more energy. Very rarely does my body cramp up anymore. It's the best thing. It's just amazing. I don't know what to say. I just would not be what I am today if I didn't start Balance of Nature.
I plan on taking this the rest of my life because until I started taking your stuff, I never took as many fruits and vegetables in a day as I get through you guys. You know, I'm very, very, very satisfied.
My pain and it went away. I swear to you that that's the truth.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hi, Amy Jacobson here, and for the last few months, I've been taking a great weight loss supplement. It's called Calitrin, and if you haven't heard of it, go to toploss.com and find out all about this amazing product, because not only do my jeans fit me better, I'm not so scrunched in, my joint pain has gone away, and I love it because I sleep better at night. I don't have to take any sleeping aids to help fall asleep. And with that aspect of the benefits of Calitrin, here's Elizabeth.
Yes, ma'am. It truly is so much more than just weight loss. I mean, it is scientifically proven for weight loss. You're going to see inches and pounds come off. But there really are so many other side benefits to taking Calitrin. Like you said, better sleep, more energy, even less joint pain. Just go to toploss.com, click on the science tab. You can read up on how it works. You actually take it at bedtime right before you go to sleep, and then you just wake up feeling great. Again, that's toploss.com. And if you get ready to order today, don't forget to use promo code Amy. That's going to save you 10% on your order today.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Career politicians put jobs in Mexico ahead of jobs in Muncie, jobs in Beijing ahead of Bloomington. And when our jobs disappeared, the insiders sat on their hands and did nothing. Businessman and outsider Mike Braun is running for U.S. Senate to bring Indiana jobs back. Family man, businessman, Christian, Mike Braun created hundreds of jobs here in Indiana. As senator, Mike Braun will help pass President Trump's agenda. Braun will repeal Obamacare once and for all, defund dangerous sanctuary cities, and finally build the wall. And Mike Braun will protect the right to life and stand up for our values. No more career politicians. Businessman, outsider, conservative. We need Mike Braun in the United States Senate. He puts Indiana and America first.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right.
So you're falling in love with Chris Kennedy a little bit. You're not going to get crazy and pull a dumb ballot.
Oh, I would never do that.
Okay.
You mean like my father might be doing? So voting kicked off.
Dad.
Early voting kicked off, and there's a new poll out that shows Chris Kennedy nipping at Pritzker's heels. Pritzker, the front runner.
Pritzker does not look good in heels either.
His sister wears them. Oh, too soon. Pritzker has 35% of the vote in this public policy polling survey, and Chris Kennedy 31% of the vote, and he's out with a new ad that was released last night.
Few will have the greatness to bend history, but each...
Chris Kennedy's father fought for civil rights, equality, and fairness.
These acts will be written in the history of this generation.
Today, the fight lives on in Chris's campaign for governor to take on a broken political system, endorsed by newspapers across the state as authentic and independent. Kennedy will be an anti-establishment governor with a progressive agenda and the vision to reshape Illinois.
Yeah, I mean, he's a testament to the old saw about third generation being the mopes who screw everything up. So that's Chris Kennedy. But yeah, he is. There's no question he's surging against Spalding.
Yeah, and then Biss, too. I mean, Biss was close to Pritzker. Now Biss was polling at 18%. And on the African-American vote, he's polling at 3%.
Yeah, imagine people not being so interested after all in Poindexter socialists from the North Shore. Doesn't have as broad appeal as people might have thought. Stunning. Imagine that. All right, time to do a little giveaway because we're just a couple weeks away from Beyond the Talking Points when I'll sit down across from Donna Brazil and explain to her why just about every position she holds is wrong. I just did it at the City Club yesterday with some local Chicago Democrats. Why not do it with Donna Brazil? It's happening Thursday, March 22nd at the Meadows Club in Rolling Meadows. Donna and I will be debating all the big issues: immigration, gun control, tax reform. And you'll have a chance to pose questions to us as well. Tickets on sale now at 560theanswer.com/beyond. But
right now, if your caller number...
You do a great you could do like car commercials with that voice.
No.
Pair of tickets to give away to caller number
10
to 312-733-6993. That's 312-733-6993. Caller number 10 to 312-733-6993 wins a pair of tickets to see me take on Donna Brazil on March 22nd. Thank you to our sponsors, AM Woodland Outdoor Design, 1-800-4BLIND-CHICAGO, the Judson World Leaders Forum, and the Heartland Institute.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Tariff Talk with Stephen Moore. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Partly sunny and 27 degrees. Stocks tumbling a bit on the future side ahead of today's open and following the resignation of President Trump's chief economist. U.S. stock index futures pointing sharply lower after the resignation of former Goldman Sachs President Gary Cohn. Cohn is a free trade advocate against tariffs on imported steel and aluminum, but is a registered Democrat. Trump administration suing California over sanctuary policies for illegal immigrants. The DOJ says laws passed in California hinder agents from doing their job. An investigation is underway after a Missouri police officer was shot and killed. 2 others severely injured by a gunman barricaded inside a home that was later found dead inside. Sergeant Bill Lowe is with the Missouri Highway Patrol.
At approximately 10 after midnight, the Troop A SWAT team entered the residence and found the suspect deceased.
Officers were serving papers last night at that home in Clinton, just southeast of Kansas City, when the shooting broke out. The Florida State House could vote later today on a school safety bill that may add some restrictions to gun purchases in that state. Bond set over $1 million for a Plainfield teen charged with the murder of his parents last week at Central Michigan University. James Davis Jr. made his initial court appearance yesterday in Isabella County, Michigan, via video from his hospital bed. One woman is dead, struck by a CTA bus on Chicago's south side. The incident happened last night when the bus was making a right turn onto 79th Street from Lafayette Avenue. There were no passengers on that bus. However, authorities are investigating another crash involving a CTA bus on Chicago's south side that did leave 6 hurt. Police say the bus slammed into a Chevy Suburban, making a turn early this morning near 74th and Halstead. The impact caused the bus then to slam into a tree, a fire hydrant, and then a CTA bus shelter. Jonathan Toews nets the game-winning goal less than 10 seconds into OT. Blackhawks over the Avalanche 2-1 at the United Center. Cubs winners in Cactus League action over the Dodgers. Sox beat back the Brewers. Bears used the transition tag on Kyle Fuller, giving the DB a guaranteed $12.9 million for 2018. The news service of Lowe's. Get an extra 5% off purchases every day at Lowe's on items big or small when you use your Lowe's Advantage card. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Subject to credit approval and can't be combined with any other credit offers. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only. 7:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher believes we're living in crazy times.
Senator Chuck Schumer of New York doesn't like the president's recent judicial appointment because he's white. honest to goodness,
we are so crazily down the rabbit hole.
I just hope and pray for my country that we will somehow, someday, come back to some sense of normalcy and reality and common sense.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Pursue your passion with a degree from Aurora University Online. Choose fully online programs in business, computer science, and more. To learn more, visit online.aurora.edu.
Did you know you could be paying up to 80% less for your family's medications? How? With GoodRx. GoodRx compares prices of every FDA-approved drug at pharmacies in your area and offers free downloadable coupons at GoodRx.com, so you get the best deals on all your medications. You'd be surprised at how much the prices can differ, even at pharmacies on the same block. Last year, GoodRx saved Americans over $2 billion on their medications. Just text GoodRx to 99,000 to learn how to start saving money today. Imagine paying even less than your insurance copay. GoodRx can sometimes find you medications for free. There are never any fees and no personal information is ever required. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions and save up to 80% instantly by texting the word GoodRx to 99,000. That's GoodRx to 99,000. Save today. Text GOODRX to 99000.
Message and data rates may apply. You will receive up to 4 automated text messages per month from GoodRx.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Bruce Rauner lies so much, he reminds us of another Chicago politician.
If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor. Period.
No wonder Republicans are abandoning you.
The Republican floor leader in the Illinois House is now leading a revolt of social conservatives against the party's governor.
Jeannie Ives won't tolerate lies and has lived by the cadet code. I will not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. And neither should you. Paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor. Only one candidate for governor consistently fights for Illinois taxpayers.
Our economy is too weak for a tax hike, and you know it. You know we need jobs, you complain about it all the time, and you won't fix our job creation problems.
That's why the tax watchdog group Tax Accountability endorsed Jeannie Ives over Bruce Rauner and made her the first state representative to earn a perfect score from the group. Jeannie Ives, the consistent conservative for Illinois governor. Paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor.
7:36. And a check of your roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. 8094 eastbound. The on-ramps from Klein Avenue are closed due to a major wreck. We have delays on eastbound 8094 from Klein before Burr with a crash in the right lane. Westbound from Broadway to past Burr. Eden's 24 minutes, Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 25. Kennedy, 56 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 36. The Eisenhower's an hour and 21 minutes, 390 to downtown. An hour 5 from Manheim, outbound 38 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 52 minutes. Crash at Cicero in the left lane. Bryan, 26 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State slow Southwest Highway to the Hinsdale Oasis, from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Veterans Memorial out into the Reagan Tollway. Traffic Service of Staples. Staples can help your business stand out with custom printed signs, banners, and brochures. Now at Staples, get $5 off your next print and marketing services purchase when you spend $50 or more. Standout materials equals outstanding results. Offer in-store only. Ends 3/24. Exclusions apply. Staples. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte at AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Breezy, colder, more clouds than sun with a high of 31, currently 26. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Donald Trump is a punch in the face to our corrupt politics. Nothing more, nothing less. We'll talk about it when freedom returns at 5.
Dan and Amy, and yesterday Trump had a joint press avail with King Friday of Sweden.
Stop it. It was the Prime Minister, Stefan Löfven.
Yes,
him from Sweden.
And Trump remarked upon Gary Cohn's passing. as well as on his tariffs and how the U.S. has been treated by the EU. Trump saying that, look, everybody still wants to work at the White House.
It's, you know what? Everybody wants a piece of me,
Yeah.
or a piece of this.
The White House has tremendous energy. It has tremendous spirit. It is a great place to be working. Many, many people want every single job. I read where, maybe people don't want to work for Trump. And believe me, everybody wants to work in the White House. They all want a piece of that Oval Office. They want a piece of the West Wing.
Yeah, they want a piece.
And not only in terms of it looks great on their resume, it's just a great place to work. It's got tremendous energy. It's tough. I like conflict. I like having two people with different points of view, and I certainly have that. And then I make a decision. But I like watching it. I like seeing it, and I think it's the best way to go. I like different points of view.
And on the EU, as it pertains to this prospective possible trade war?
The European Union has not treated us well, and it's been a very, very unfair trade situation. I'm here to protect, and one of the reasons I was elected is I'm protecting our workers, I'm protecting our companies, and I'm not going to let that happen.
Yeah, one of the reasons we have Steve Moore on each week is to address issues like this, both personnel and policy, and we're pleased to be joined by Heritage Foundation economist, CNN senior economist, Wall Street Journal columnist, Steve Moore. Steve, thanks for joining us. Gary Cohn, good riddance, right?
Well, look, I was not in favor of Gary Cohn when he got the job. I mean, he was actually a Hillary Clinton supporter, so it was a bit of a shock to the system. But I have to say, I will give him high marks. I mean, he was the one who was able to help Trump shepherd through the crown jewel of his presidency, which is, of course, the tax cut. I think he's been a steady hand, and so I'd give him high marks. And look, he's been the economic director for Trump, and we've had a booming economy for the last year. I mean, what president, they said on CNN last night, what president in modern times has had a better first year than Trump when it comes to the economy, the stock market, jobs, and so on. So, but it's not unexpected, by the way. I mean, there was always a whispering campaign that Gary Cohn was going to leave, sometime early in 2018, especially after the tax cut was passed. And so I'm not shocked by this news. And now my main purpose in life is to make sure that Larry Kudlow is the next MEC director.
There it is. Larry Kudlow.
All right, well, before we get to the greatness of Larry, I mean, Cohen's exit. I mean, could Cohen's...
Amy, I will tell him you said that because I'm getting together with him later today. But look, Larry would be such an asset for Trump. I mean, there's no better communicator of the economic message than Larry Kudlow. He's also he's liked by all members of Congress, even Democrats. I mean, I think he could serve Trump really well.
He's not one of these Wall Street rent seekers, which we would need to get away from.
Good point. This will be the first time in a long, long time we won't have a Goldman Sachs guy running the country.
Exactly.
So isn't it amazing? All the Republicans always turn to the Goldman Sachs people to run the economy, and whether it was Paulson or Robert Rubin, and now we had Gary Cohn, and it's funny how no matter what happens in the country, Goldman Sachs always comes out smelling like a rose.
All right, but could Cohen's they were describing him as a rare talent, a stabilizing force. Could his, exit have a ripple effect from the White House to Wall Street?
Well, yeah. I mean, overnight, there's a lot of nervousness right now. I mean, look, if Peter Navarro is chosen, and I don't think he will be, and I know Peter, I consider him a friend, but I just think he's completely wrong on trade, and I think he would really give the financial markers the heebie-jeebies. So that would be a bad choice. I think Larry's up there in consideration. I think that another possibility would be Mick Mulvaney, who's now the budget director. There's some talk of maybe going with a CEO of a major company like Fred Smith of FedEx, somebody who's close to Trump. So look, I think the market has overreacted to Cohen leaving. There's plenty of good people that Trump could pick, but of course we're all hoping and praying that it's Larry Kudlow.
And I know where you are on this issue. You're in the same place as I am. A study came out projecting the impact of Trump's trade tariffs were they to be implemented and extended. And the tariffs on 25% tariff on steel, 10% on aluminum, projecting that it could create as many as 33,000 jobs in the steel and aluminum producing sector and cost about 175,000 jobs in the steel and aluminum using sector. So it's a net minus of about 145,000 jobs, which is not good.
so, it's interesting, as you guys know, I am from the Chicago area, and I remember when I was a kid, maybe, around 10 to 11, 12 years old, so that would have been around 1970, early 70s.
Were you wearing a Loop T-shirt?
Yeah, that was that.
Were you wearing?
I had the bell-bottom jeans too, yep. but I was good. I was good looking back then. But anyway, I remember my one time we took a trip to Michigan, to Detroit area, and we went to the Kellogg's factory. We went to a steel mill, an auto factory. I remember it's indelibly sketched in my mind that I remember looking at the steel factory. Oh my God, I can't be. It was like a sweatshop, with thousands of workers doing drudgery, carrying heavy equipment and things like that. If you go in the steel mill today, it's nothing like it was 40 years ago.
Right.
Whereas there used to be 1,000 workers, maybe there's 100, and they're doing more diagnostic equipment, and so much of it is automated. My point is that what's really caused the reduction in the steel employment in the country hasn't really been trade. I mean, it's somewhat trade, but it's been automation, and we're moving towards, robotics and so on. So the idea that these steel jobs are going to be here 10 years from now or 20 years from now is a fantasy. I think, the future is obviously technology and brain work and things like that. So that's something to think about. Now, may I play the devil's advocate for a minute?
You may.
And defend Trump. And as you know, look, I'm a free trade guy. I get it. But I'm going to make a point to you, and I want your guys' reaction. I traveled with Trump throughout the campaign, and we went to states like Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Kentucky, places like that Trump, won, and surprisingly crashed through that blue wall and won a lot of these blue-collar unionized workers. And I would submit to you that if Trump had taken a conventional free trade position that Republicans normally take, Hillary Clinton would be president today. I don't have any doubt in my mind that the trade issue where Trump said, look, I'm going to keep the factories here in the United States. We're not going to let all these, low-priced, imports in from China. That played with a lot of these, workers. And so Trump is keeping his word right now. I mean,
I understand.
He told the American people, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
totally
so
agree.
now I want you guys' response.
Well, let me give you this response. I mean, I totally agree. That's what he said. That's what he said for decades. I'm not surprised by these policies. It doesn't make it the right policy, but politically,
right.
there are constituencies, as there's always constituencies for giveaways or protection.
That's true.
So let me ask you this: if you think the timing of this could be like, why the timing of this now? Well, this is sort of below the fold. It's a little bit inside baseball, but there is a special election on Tuesday in Pennsylvania 18, and this is like base camp for Trump. And if the Republican loses that special election, that starts to portend, and the narrative gets restarted that we're looking at heavy losses come November. And so the timing of this to help demonstrate a promise made and a promise kept for the purposes of holding that seat in Pennsylvania. What do you think about that?
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's a great point, and we'll see who wins that point. I mean, look, Democrats have been winning a lot of these special elections. They're fired up. They're energized, much the way Republicans were, after 2 years of Barack Obama's presidency, where we wiped Democrats off the board. So, I'm not optimistic about Republicans' chances of winning these special elections because, Democrats are going to turn out big time for these races. But look, and ultimately, when it comes to the 2018 elections, and much more importantly, the 2020 elections, it will be determined by how well the economy is doing. If the economy is doing anywhere near as well as it is, today, 2.5 years from now, Trump will be reelected with 40 states. I mean, it is the economy, stupid, and we've got an economy that's firing on all cylinders. Now, look, I agreed with the Wall Street Journal editorial a couple of days ago. As you know, I worked there for 10 years. But, they put it really well. Why would we do tariffs now? I mean, the economy is so strong. Mm-hmm. We don't have a shortage of, factory jobs right now. We don't have enough workers to fill the factory jobs. I mean, when I talk to people who run companies, they say, I can't find the workers to fill them. So why do we need steel tariffs?
Well, because it's politics, stupid, right now. That's what
right.
I think.
I think that's right. Yeah, I agree.
This
is politics, but look, isn't it nice, though? I have to say, we actually have a president who actually fulfills his campaign promises. That's a kind of unique thing.
He is Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, CNN senior economist, former Trump campaign advisor. Steve, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Okay, guys. Have a great week.
Take
care.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Fine. On a very special Dan and Amy, Dan rips on Bunky. Okay. And what are the most dangerous animals? Roar. But first, here's your forecast. Well, look at that sunshine. Isn't it great? We have some clouds out there, too, and it is breezy, though, a high of 31 degrees. Tonight, a low of 20, and for Thursday, partly sunny, chilly, a high of 35 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Metro has some delays on the BNSF line. It's a train with a mechanical failure at Highlands. Big mess in northwest Indiana. Klein Avenue ramps to eastbound 8094 are closed due to a collision involving a tank truck and 2 other vehicles. We have delays on eastbound 8094 from Kalani before Burr, where there's a crash in the right lane, and westbound from Broadway to past Burr. Edens runs 24 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 26. The Kennedy, 56 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, just a tad quicker in the Express, outbound 36 minutes. The Eisenhower, an hour and 21 minutes, 390 to downtown. An hour 5 from Manheim, outbound 38 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 52 minutes. Crash at Cicero, cleared now. Ryan, 26 minutes, 95th to the loop. Bishop Ford, 50 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Northbound Tri-States, though, Southwest Highway to Hinsdale Oasis, Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Veterans Memorials, though, southbound 290 to Army Trail, northbound Fountain to the Reagan Tollway. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Text from 773. How can anyone know the result of tariffs if no one has tried it? Point of order. It's been tried many times throughout American history, and most recently, Bush imposed steel tariffs. George W.
21 months.
2002. The net result, minus 200,000 jobs. Gentlemen, when it comes to good health and quality of life, there are numbers every man needs to know, including our testosterone number. I personally recommend my friends at Low T Center. It's where I got my levels tested recently. They make it quick and easy. You walk in, take a simple blood test, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, you know your results in about 20 minutes. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy, cause lack of motivation and drive, can even raise your cholesterol levels, cause weight gain and loss of muscle mass. If you've been experiencing any of these symptoms, it's time to get your levels checked. At Low T Center, they accept most health insurance and will verify it for you. Low T Center's physicians specialize in treating low testosterone levels in men. They know men's health and are reinventing men's health care. When it comes to your health and daily quality of life, do what I did. Get your numbers checked. You owe it to yourself. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Proft sent you. That's me. 312-239-3427 is the number. Again, call 312-239-3427 or go to lowtcenter.com for more info.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was always just sort of feeling tired. And so I said, maybe this will just help in overall vitality. But in the past couple of years that I've been taking it, I find my energy has been great. I've been sleeping better. I don't get the cravings for junk food as often as I used to. I really attribute it to the product. It's so easy to use. Even if I want to take a capsule for my daughter and I just pull it apart to mix it in some juice or something, it's just something I'm very grateful to be able to incorporate. I really love the product. I think it's made such a difference.
Generally feel better, generally have better energy and more stamina. Breathing is easier, walking is easier. You're not in pain anymore, all right? I could go on and on.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
For more than a half century, Mueller CPA and Financial Advisory has provided audit, tax, outsourced accounting, business consulting, and financial advisory services to Chicagoland companies. Mueller provides customized financial guidance to a client base that includes independent business owners, startups, local government, and nonprofits. I'm with Dave Nissen, Mueller Managing Partner.
Thanks, Dan. Mueller values being part of the community for the last 50 years, meeting our clients' financial service needs. A major component of meeting those needs is our professionals' superb knowledge and their ability to deliver timely and quality solutions to meet our clients' challenges. Whether you're interested in tax minimization strategies, looking to expand your business, or need assistance with business planning, our team can help. Our goal is your company's financial success today and over a lifetime.
For questions about how the recent legislative changes can specifically affect your business or how to effectively plan for these changes, call Dave Nissen at 847-888-8600 or visit MuellerCPA.com. That's Mueller, MUELLER, CPA.com.
Folks, when shopping for a home mortgage, how much is great service, low closing costs, and competitive interest rates worth to you? At Townstone Financial, it's priceless. Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. Let's hear about the Townstone experience from one of our customers.
You know, I had a home equity line of credit that I took out years ago for kids' college expenses. Over the past 5 or 6 years, I lamented about refinancing this, but Poundstone just made it very, very simple. Within 30 days after I first called, talked to Ira, you know, I closed on a new fixed-rate mortgage with a much lower interest rate, and also was able to take out additional cash from the equity to pay off some of the wife's high-interest credit cards. Hopefully she's not listening. The whole process was stress-free and almost effortless.
Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Poundstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call me now, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financials, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Illinois, mortgage licensee 6629 and NMLS 136639. Equal housing lender.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Guns have no moral agency. Predators hurt and kill people. Often they use a gun. Good guys protect people. Often they use a gun. When a predator kills with a gun, he is rightly called a monster. When a good guy with a gun fails to protect people, he's rightly called a coward. The very nature of the way we discuss an atrocity like the Parkland school shooting conveys our understanding that it's bad guys and good guys who are responsible for what they do and not the instrumentality they use in their conduct. So arguing that the response to the deadly success of the shooter and the failure of the deputy sheriff is to reduce the number of good guys and their instrumentality choices does not logically follow from the accepted premise. And neither does the failure of state agencies locally and federally to exercise the power they currently possess make the case for expanding their power at the expense of our rights. No amount of emergency planning or algorithmic modeling or government power can replace the variety of human judgment calls that will be thrust upon a free people. The question then isn't what's in my holster, it's what's in my head and my heart.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Ament, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman & Ament and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman & Ament needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Yeah, huh? Yeah, you remember Morris Day in the time. Don't pretend like you're not rocking side to side. Huh? Stole the show in Purple Rain, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Deadliest animals, Amy.
Yes.
Protect yourselves, your kids from not snakes and wasps, dogs.
Dogs?
The new research, culled from the Centers for Disease Control, of the 1,610 people killed in encounters with animals between 2008 and 2015, 478 were killed by hornets, wasps, and bees.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sure. The allergic reaction.
Oh, yeah, allergic, yeah.
272 by dogs. Snakes, spiders, and scorpions, which almost killed one of the Greg Brady on that Hawaiian Vacation.
Oh, that's right.
Remember the spider, the tarantula?
Yeah.
But only responsible for 99 deaths over 8 years. So don't be so afraid of snakes, spiders, and scorpions, especially
still
spiders.
99 deaths.
Well, over 8 years. Yeah, so and then another 72 people killed annually by other mammals, including horses, cattle, and pigs. The nice thing about the pigs, though, if they kill you, they eat you.
Yeah,
so they tidy up after you, which got me thinking about dogs in particular, and also the most disturbing dogs, in addition to the most deadly. And, of course, I defer to Gavin Belson from Silicon Valley on the bulldog, Amy.
Consider the bulldog, a grotesque monstrosity born of relentless inbreeding, riddled with sinusitis, crippled by joint pain, chronically flatulent. A kindly pet or humanity's cruelest mistake? All right, take it away.
And they have this bulldog sitting on a chair.
Ladies and gentlemen, just like that horrible creature, the entire nucleus program was...
Yes, exactly. It's a great metaphor.
It's a cute dog. He sounds
the
like
dangers
Monkey.
of inbreeding.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk to former CIA officer Jason Hansen at 8:08.
But first, here's Mike Scott.
A woman hit and killed by a semi on the south side. That story after Fox News.
Many people want the job, must choose wisely. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump tweeted hours after his economic advisor resigned, spooking Wall Street, where stock futures are down big. Fox's John Decker's live at the White House.
Gary Cohn, whose departure date will come in a few weeks, decided to quit after President Trump announced he would impose stiff tariffs on imported steel and aluminum, something Cohn had been fighting. The former Goldman Sachs CEO helped to shepherd massive tax cuts, the Trump administration's only major legislative achievement. His departure underlines a fear that President Trump is increasingly adopting a protectionist stance. Many congressional Republicans see that as a threat to the U.S. economy. Dave?
John, the U.S. trade deficit got even bigger in January, rising to more than $56 billion. That's the most in nearly 10 years. Another report measuring worker productivity showed no gain in the fourth quarter, the worst reading in 2 years. Attorney General Sessions will go to California today after the Justice Department filed a lawsuit over the sanctuary state's new laws he believes unconstitutionally block the feds and protect illegal immigrants.
California's Governor Jerry Brown responding over Twitter, saying at a time of unprecedented political turmoil, Jeff Sessions has come to California to further divide and polarize America. Jeff, these political stunts may be the norm in Washington, but they don't work here. Sad! Exclamation point 3 times.
As Fox's Griff Jenkins, 2 Clinton, Missouri police officers are recovering after being shot last night. A third officer was killed. Responding to a domestic disturbance at a home, the gunman was later found dead inside. Kids are back in class in West Virginia for the first time since February 21st. Now that striking teachers are back the day after getting the pay raise they demanded.
I feel great about it. It was a really good day for West Virginians.
Governor Jim Justice, a lot of kids in the Northeast aren't in school, getting a snow day. Areas from Pennsylvania to Maine could get over a foot. More than 2,000 flights have been canceled. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
25 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. Here are the stories we're following this morning on WIND Chicago. Bond is set at just over $1 million for a Plainfield teen charged with murdering his parents last week at Central Michigan University. James Davis Jr. made his initial court appearance from his hospital bed in Michigan yesterday. Authorities say Davis used his father's service revolver to shoot his parents Friday in his dorm room. His father was a Bellwood police officer. One woman is dead after being struck by a CTA bus on Chicago's south side. Police say the incident happened last night as the bus was making a right turn onto 79th Street from Lafayette Avenue. Meantime, authorities are investigating a crash involving a CTA bus on Chicago's south side that left 6 hurt. In this collision, police say a bus slammed into a Chevy Suburban making a turn early this morning near 74th and Halstead. An investigation continues following a head-on crash in Berwyn that killed a single mother. Police say Myra Rivera was driving on Ogden Avenue when a Nissan crossed the center line and collided with her vehicle near Ridgeland Avenue. And a candidate for Cook County Commissioner is accusing her opponent of accepting illegal campaign contributions. It's from the Sun-Times this morning, who reports Elma Anaya filed a second request yesterday for an investigation into Angie Sandoval. Anaya claims several companies have contracts with the county and have contributed over $750 to Sandoval's campaign, which is against county ordinances. Chicago sports. Last night it was a win for the Blackhawks over the Avalanche, 2-1. Bulls close out a 3-game homestand against the Grizzlies later on tonight. The news service of Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage is simple, so you can understand the details and be sure you're getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. Visit rocketmortgage.com today. Licensed in all 50 states. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 3030. 8:04 time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network and a service of Turnkey.pro, here's Carol Zimmer.
From the Fox Business Network. Get ready for a rocky start to the trading day. Dow futures now down more than 250 points. Investors are reacting to the resignation of top economic advisor Gary Cohn, who's leaving because of the Trump administration's plan to impose tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. BlackBerry is suing Facebook, saying that the world's biggest social media company has infringed on 7 BlackBerry-owned patents. BlackBerry was once one of the world's biggest smartphone makers. Target says it's raising its hourly wage to $12 starting this spring. The chain now pays $11 an hour. And just how rich is Jeff Bezos? $127 billion. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Carol Zimmer.
8:05, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
She ran Al Gore's presidential campaign. She served as the chair of the Democratic National Committee. She's considered one of the most influential Democrats in the country. And on Thursday, March 22nd, Donna Brazile will go head-to-head with AM 560's Dan Proft. It's Beyond the Talking Points with Dan Proft and Donna Brazile. They'll discuss, dissect, and debate the big issues dividing our country. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/beyond. Sponsored in part by 1-800-4-BLINDS, Chicago. Blinds, shades, and shutters.
Did you know you could be paying up to 80% less for your family's medications? How? With GoodRx. GoodRx compares prices of every FDA-approved drug at pharmacies in your area and offers free downloadable coupons at GoodRx.com, so you get the best deals on all your medications. You'd be surprised at how much the prices can differ, even at pharmacies on the same block. Last year, GoodRx saved Americans over $2 billion on their medications. Just text GoodRx to 99,000 to learn how to start saving money today. Imagine paying even less than your insurance copay. GoodRx can sometimes find you medications for free. There are never any fees and no personal information is ever required. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions and save up to 80% instantly by texting the word GoodRx to 99,000. That's GoodRx to 99,000. Save today. Text GOODRX to 99000.
Message and data rates may apply. You will receive up to 4 automated text messages per month from GoodRx.
It is 8:07. Let's get an update on the morning ride to work. We do that in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Thanks. Not going to have any flight cancellations at O'Hare up to nearly 90 now. At Midway, about 25. Weather in the northeast. Edens Expressway inbound, tight Foster to Montrose, 22 minutes. Lake Hook to the junction. Outbound holding at 25. Kennedy, an hour and 14 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 58 minutes from Montrose, 40 in the Express. Outbound 18 to Montrose, but 57 to the airport. Eisenhower, an hour and a half, 390 to downtown, an hour and 9 minutes from Manheim. About 43 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 57 minutes. The Ryan, 31 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 30 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, Bishop Ford, 40. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, stop and go, Bryn Mawr to North Avenue. Northbound 18th Drive to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State Heavy, 21 to 137. Northbound Southwest Highway to the Hinsdale Oasis, the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Veterans Royals, though, southbound 290 to Army Trail. Northbound Boughton to the Reagan Tollway. Southbound 53 is delays. Devon on a 355. There is a crash southbound at Army Trail with the left shoulder. 8094 has delays both directions near Klein due to the crash. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Chip Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour for the morning. Otherwise, more clouds than sun throughout the day today.
Chance of flurries for the afternoon, high 31. Mostly cloudy for the night tonight with a low of 20. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
It is 26 at O'Hare, 25 with a wind chill of 12 along Chicago's lakefront, 20 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update, 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and the intriguing and dangerous world of being a CIA operative. As much as we talk about the deep state, we know there are heroic men and women in our intelligence services who gather information to keep us safe from America's many enemies. And are there lessons from the experience of CIA operatives that are applicable to everyday Americans like you, Amy? Yeah. Well, one former CIA operative, Jason Hansen, has written a book on the topic. He's the author of the book Survive Like a Spy: Real CIA Operatives Reveal how they stay safe in a dangerous world, and how you can too. Could that be any more relevant in the city of Chicago? For more on this, we're pleased to be joined by the author of the book and former CIA operative, Jason Hansen. Jason, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So it's sort of an interesting premise of your book that there's application for the evasive tactics and security protocols that you followed as a CIA operative that would be useful in the lives of everyday Americans who are otherwise, most Americans otherwise not encountering danger on a normal basis. But give us some of those skills and experiences that you think are translatable.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, everything is. So one of them is, how do you know if you're being followed? So obviously, if a spy is going to meet an asset in a foreign country, they've got to make sure nobody's following them to that meeting. Mm-hmm. Well, you want to make sure you're not being followed home. You want to make sure you're not being followed out to a parking lot. And a very easy way to do that, I'll give you the 30-second version, is called an SDR, which stands for Surveillance Detection Route. And all that means is not going from point A to point B. So if you were going to go to a meeting, you might go to Walmart, then Starbucks, then you might go to the gym, then you'd go to the meeting. And obviously, if you saw the same person or same cars at each area, you would abort that meeting. So it's common sense, whereas if you're driving home and you think somebody's following you, don't go right to your house and park in your driveway. You know, take a left, take a right, and if that same car is there, well, then you're going to call the police. You're going to make sure you get to a safe area. So that's just a very simple way that all Americans can be safer using the same stuff spies do.
You know what I do is I just travel with 6 body doubles, and then we scatter as soon as I come out of a place.
Well, you also mentioned in your book, you know, the number one way to deal with a threatening individual. I coach basketball, and I have to deal with a lot of individuals who are sometimes threatening at times.
They're called parents.
No, I would never say that. But, I mean, how do you handle an individual if you're in a threatening position?
Sure. So, yeah, here's how to take out a parent. First, you want to put your hands out. So put your hands out far away from your face, palm up, in the position of, hey, please leave me alone. Please don't hurt me. But the real reason you're doing that is your hands are extended far from your face. And you can jab your fingers right into their throat because the throat is incredibly vulnerable. It doesn't matter how big the guy is, how many weights he can lift. If you do a quick jab to the throat, they're going to go down, they're going to choke. It's going to give you time to flee to safety.
I think there's going to be a perimeter around you coaching in the future after people hear this interview.
My girls' parents are fine. It's just other coaches.
Well, what about, I mean, you know, we talk about, I mean, particularly in light of these shootings and the debate about guns and the right to self-protection, you know, the idea of ultimately in an emergency situation, you're going to be held responsible for your own self-protection, whether you want to be or not, you know, the police being a reactive institution by their very nature. And the idea, if somebody tries to carjack you, we've had a rash of carjackings in suburban Chicago of late, or a home break-in, and if you don't have a gun, how you can improvise to protect yourself?
Yeah, so I'm a big gun guy. I own way too many guns. But if you don't have a gun, if you don't like guns, which I realize not everybody does, you've got to plan ahead with something. Maybe it's a knife. Maybe it's a baseball bat. Maybe it's a golf club. Hopefully it's a dog. I mean, I own a German Shepherd, and they're fantastic because no criminal wants to get bit or leave DNA evidence. So I think the biggest problem people have is they don't plan ahead. So when your door is getting kicked in at 3 a.m., that's not the time to say, hey, how should I survive this home invasion? So plan ahead, whatever it is. I mean, there are even door braces you can put at your front door, and the door brace keeps the front door from getting kicked in. So take 5 minutes, plan what you're going to do, and of course, we pray it never happens.
And so I'm sorry, just to follow up on that. So I mean, are there recommendations you would have to harden targets like schools in the wake of the terrible Parkland shooting that should be considered by school districts around the country?
Unfortunately, most schools are so easy to get into, in my own kids' schools. I mean, they're never going to be able to lock them down enough, and you can just walk right in. The thing that needs to happen is they have to train the administrators and the teachers to swarm a shooter. That's what the Israelis do. The Israelis are very well trained. You hear somebody pulling out a knife in Israel, and 5 guys jump up immediately because they've all trained for that because the country is obviously very dangerous. Here in America, we're not training anybody for that. So obviously I don't expect the kids to do that. But if an active shooter comes in, a natural reaction is for people to run away and flee, which of course just means it's wide open for him to shoot everybody in the back since nobody's coming towards him. But if we took, a few hours of training, I mean, it wouldn't have to be long to teach these teachers and administrators, you've got to swarm, you got to rush the shooter. That will save numerous lives.
What about creating covert communication signals to protect your family?
Yeah, so let's say there's a crisis situation, obviously 9/11, for example. Cell phones were down, nobody's getting through because the towers are all jammed. So you've got to have a way to communicate with your family. It can be as simple as saying, hey, we'll meet at this location, or hey, I'm going to leave a piece of paper with a handwritten note at this location. It can be a ham radio. I mean, radios are very inexpensive, and they're still going to work. So people need to have something that, for kids at school, if they're at work, how are we going to communicate when the cell phone towers go down? Because in a natural disaster or a crisis event, they will be down.
Can you, I know in the book as well, there are a number of stories about your actual experience as a CIA operative. Give us your favorite or your best Jason Bourne real-life experience.
Sure. So one of my favorite stories, I'm actually going to use one of my buddy's stories.
Okay.
And it was the snatching of a narco-terrorist. So there was this very bad drug dealer, and we needed to get him off the streets, and the United States government wanted to make sure he couldn't flood the U.S. with drugs anymore. And so the misconception is that the CIA is just going to go out and pluck you off the streets, but it takes months and months of planning, years of planning in some cases, and you have to first verify the person, meaning you got to get fingerprints, you got to get a strand of hair, you got to get DNA evidence. Even if you know it's him, you still got to go back and prove it because you're taking somebody's life off the street. And then also, once that happens, you've got to have a way to snatch him. And in this case, it was a car accident. That was a fake car accident. So him and his security team saw this car accident, looked at him, and then he was snatched, had a bag over his head, and he vanished.
I love it. I love it. All right, don't try and break into Jason Hansen's house. There's some advice. Jason Hansen, former CIA officer, author of the book Survive Like a Spy. Real CIA operatives reveal how they stay safe in a dangerous world and how you can too. Jason, thanks so much for joining us.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up next, a professor gets shouted down at law school. We'll explain. But first, here's your forecast. Today, it's going to be breezy, cold. Sunshine right now, but some clouds rolling in here by this afternoon. A high of 31 degrees tonight, a low of 20. And for Thursday, partly sunny, chilly, a high of 35 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Dan, Kennedy inbound delay started Foster. It's an hour and 14 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 58 minutes from Montrose. 40 in the Express. Outbound 57 to the airport. Eden's 22 minutes. Lake Cook Junction outbound 25. The Eisenhower, it's an hour and a half. 390 to downtown. An hour and 9 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 43 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 57 minutes after a crash in Cicero. Ryan, 31 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 20, crash 26th in the two left lanes. Delays on Lakeshore Drive, southbound Bryn Mawr to North Avenue, northbound 18th Drive to Jackson. Northbound Tri-State stop and go from the Stevenson to 31st, then from the Reagan to North Avenue. Southbound 53 and the Veterans Memorial Tollway with delays from Woodfield Road to St. Charles. Northbound heavy Boughton to the Reagan Tollway. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Oh.
You're going to use that whole, jab him in the throat thing tonight, aren't you? That's your game.
No, I have to meet with school administrators today.
Well, even better.
Oh, that's right. Hey, let me tell you about this new move I learned at work today. Hey, great news for March. The MyPillow 4-pack deal is extended. So if you've procrastinated, the best MyPillow offer is still available. Why wait any longer? Go online or call now to take advantage of this great deal. By using the promo code Amy, you will get the absolute best deal available anywhere. The MyPillow 4-pack deal includes 2 premium MyPillows, 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows at 50% off. And you can move the fill to get the support you need regardless of how you sleep. I never wake up with a stiff neck or headache, and you won't either. MyPillow is made in America, washable and dryable, hypoallergenic, and has a 10-year warranty plus a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your 50% off the 4-pack in March by calling 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Bruce Rauner, you're lying to us. Again. You're lying about conservative Jeannie Ives, calling her Madigan's favorite Republican, and everyone knows it. Didn't you enact Madigan's liberal agenda from taxpayer-funded abortions to making Illinois a sanctuary state? Didn't you bail out Chicago public school pensions, helping your buddy Rahm on the backs of Illinois families? No wonder GOP lawmakers demand you stop your shameful distortions and fabrications of Jeannie Ives' record. No wonder Republicans are abandoning you.
Republican floor leader in the Illinois House, and he is now leading a revolt of social conservatives against the party's governor.
You even promised to protect our veterans. Now you're letting them die of Legionnaire's disease in Quincy. Rauner failed our veterans, failed our state, and he fails to tell us the truth. That's why Crane's newspaper said the governor is in full Pinocchio mode. Doesn't Illinois deserve better than Governor Pinocchio? Cast your ballot for the candidate with a proven record of integrity and fidelity to conservative values. Vote Jeannie Ives for governor, paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Picture your son in 10 years. What kind of man do you hope to see? I know you want your son to be a man of character. It's Dan Proft, and I urge you to consider Northridge Prep, ranked the #1 best all-boys school in Illinois for 2 years running, and a top 100 high school in America from U.S. News. Don't miss their open house on March 25th. Northridge Prep is an independent Catholic school for boys in grades 6 through 12 located in Niles. There's no brainwashing that's prevalent elsewhere. They instill the traditional values that you hold as parents. Northridge Prep is all boys with an all-male faculty. They celebrate your son's natural enthusiasm and energy. It's a good place to be a boy. Every teacher is a great role model who gets to the hearts of their students. Their demanding liberal arts curriculum produces well-rounded men with the ability to think for themselves. Grads go on to the best universities, including the Ivy League, and have top athletics and arts programs. I strongly encourage you to attend Northridge Prep's open house on March 25th. To learn more, visit northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Career politicians put jobs in Mexico ahead of jobs in Muncie, jobs in Beijing ahead of Bloomington. And when our jobs disappeared, the insiders sat on their hands and did nothing. Businessman and outsider Mike Braun is running for U.S. Senate to bring Indiana jobs back. Family man, businessman, Christian, Mike Braun created hundreds of jobs here in Indiana. As Senator, Mike Braun will help pass President Trump's agenda. Braun will repeal Obamacare once and for all, defund dangerous sanctuary cities, and finally build the wall. And Mike Braun will protect the right to life and stand up for our values. No more career politicians. Businessman, outsider, conservative. We need Mike Braun in the United States Senate. He puts Indiana and America first.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, Amy's practicing that jab to the throat move. Gerhard from Southern California has an idea, too, when it comes to self-defense. Gerhard?
Yeah, Dan and Amy, thanks for taking my call. I'm an over-the-road truck driver, and I'm not allowed to carry firearms in my rig. So what I do is I carry a can of wasp spray. You know, the distance between you and the perpetrator is important. You can shoot that deadly foam 20 feet, shoot him right in the face, so he's going down.
Oh, nice. All right, thanks for that, Gerard. Appreciate that.
Move over pepper spray.
Yeah, stock up on the wasp spray. It's good stuff. All right, I want to get to this. Christina Hoff Sommers, we've had on the show. She's a longtime conservative commentator, author, academic, scheduled to speak at Lewis and Clark Law School in Portland, Oregon. And this generated the response you would expect on a college campus these days from these budding totalitarians. This is what happened when she attempted to speak in the classroom.
Mic check. We choose. We choose to protest. To protest. Male supremacy. Male supremacy. Not give it. Not give it. A platform. A platform. Christina Sommers. Christina Sommers has repeatedly delegitimized the suffering of women. The suffering of women. Worldwide.
Worldwide.
But we believe our siblings. And our comrades. Women are not.
Sing along if you'd like.
Women are not liars with victim mentalities. Liars with victim mentalities. Rape culture is not a myth. Rape culture is not a myth. Microaggressions are real. Microaggressions are real. The gender gauge gap is real. The gender wage gap is real. Trans people are real. Trans people are real. Trans lives matter. Trans lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter.
Look forward to that.
Stop.
Look forward to that delicate flower practicing in a court of law near you, as well as some of her classmates there. Those
They're really refined women. I'm really proud of them.
and independent thinkers. Nothing says independent thinking like an echo chamber. No platform for fascism, so they shouted her down. Ultimately, her speech was cut a bit short because that's what those people who are going to practice law in our free society do with opinions they disagree with. I hope she brings her friends with her in every case that she has to try. See how the judges accept that same approach. Good piece by David French in response to this. That video has unsurprisingly gone viral. Talked about the intersectionality, the dangerous faith. Intersectionality, to refresh your memories, this new neo-Marxist theory, is you have layers of victimhood. So as you're part of a marginalized class, right? Solidarity and marginality. You're a woman, that's a marginalized class, so that's one layer of victimhood. You're a black woman, that's another layer, that's the intersection. You're a lesbian black woman, that's another layer, that's the intersection. And you just pile up the entitlements and the newfound rights based on your characteristics, like your gender, your race, your sexual orientation. That's like intersectionality. And David French writes, the demise of religion among American youth is greatly exaggerated. It turns out that America isn't raising a new generation of unbelievers. Instead, rising in the heart of deep blue America are the zealots of a new religious faith. They're the intersectionals. They're fully woke, and the heretics don't stand a chance. And college campuses are their churches. But increasingly, as Andrew Sullivan wrote about a couple of weeks ago and we discussed, we're all on one big college campus now in America. So get used to it when they come for you. Don't cry about what you didn't do and how unserious you took this march of totalitarianism, and that's what it is.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Well, first coming up, we got tickets to give away.
Oh, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Because we're just a couple of weeks away from Beyond the Talking Points, Amy.
Oh, yes, we are.
You'll be there. You're the valet that evening.
I'm parking cars.
Yeah, make a little extra cash. Side hustle.
I got to have a side hustle, too.
I'm sitting down across from Donna Brazil. You know her from such terrible campaigns as Al Gore's 2000 presidential race. I'm going to explain to her why just about every position she holds is wrong. It's happening Thursday, March 22nd, 2 days after the primary. At the Meadows Club in Rolling Meadows, Donna and I will be debating all the big issues, immigration, gun control, tax reform, and you'll have a chance to pose questions to us as well. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/beyond. But right now, we have a pair of tickets to give away to caller number
5.
Caller number 5 to 312-733-6993. 312-733-6993. Caller number 5 to 312-733-6993 wins a pair of tickets to see me take on Donna Brazil March 22nd. And a big thanks to our sponsors, AM Woodland Outdoor Design, 1-800-4-BLIND-CHICAGO, 1-800-4-BLIND-CHICAGO, the Judson World Leaders Forum, and the Heartland Institute.
And coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the Tooth Fairy payouts are plummeting. We'll tell you why. And what else are we going to do there, Danny boy?
We're going to throw it to Mike Scott for the news.
Yes, we are. Here is Mike Scott.
25 degrees. Skies are mostly cloudy, a few peaks of sun. Stocks set to drop sharply lower after President Trump's top economic advisor stepped down. Stock index futures were pointing lower following the White House resignation of former Goldman Sachs President Gary Cohn. The Dow futures indicate an opening of over 300 points lower this morning, and we'll watch that for you. A nor'easter set to slam the Northeast, prompting the cancellation of over 1,600 flights. That is beginning to back things up here in the Midwest and major hubs like Atlanta and Chicago. An investigation is underway after a Missouri police officer was shot and killed, 2 others severely hurt by a gunman who barricaded himself in a home and was later found dead inside.
They ended up going inside the residence in an attempt to apprehend the suspect. At that point in time, the suspect shot and killed one of the Clinton police officers.
Sergeant Bill Lowe's with the Missouri Highway Patrol. Class in session in West Virginia today. A 9-day teachers' strike is over. Republicans brokering a deal that will give all state employees the same raise. One woman is dead, struck by a CTA bus on Chicago's south side near 79th and South Lafayette. Meantime, authorities are investigating a crash involving a bus on Chicago's south side that left 6 hurt after a Chevy Suburban that was making a turn near 74th and Halsted was hit by that bus. State police are investigating after a driver was killed by a wheel hub that came off a semi-tractor trailer along I-80. It's close to Joliet. The lost hub hit the windshield of that vehicle. The impact then killed the woman driving the car. The village of Deerfield says they're taking a significant step toward banning the same kind of rapid-fire rifle used in the mass shootings at a Florida high school last month. The village board last night approving a report from village staff that recommends expanding the current ordinance to include so-called assault weapons as well as some high-capacity magazines, which were not used in the Florida massacre. Chicago sports. Jonathan Toews nets the game winner 10 seconds into overtime. Hawks beat the Avalanche 2-1 at the UC. Not a bad day for our baseball clubs. Cubs winners over the Dodgers. White Sox beat the Brewers at Camelback Ranch. Bears put the transition tag on Kyle Fuller, and congratulations to Doug Bruno and the DePaul women, Big East basketball champs. They're headed back to the NCAA tournament after a win over Marquette. The news, a service of Staples. Staples can help your business stand out with custom printed signs, banners, and brochures. Now at Staples, get $5 off your next print and marketing services purchase when you spend $50 or more. Standout materials equals outstanding results. Offer in store only. Ends 3/24. Exclusions apply at Staples. 8:34 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher thinks arming teachers is a no-brainer.
Of course, teachers who are already comfortable with guns and are capable of handling guns, who will be willing to go through additional training and scrutiny and vetting, of course they need to be able to be armed. It's not even a close call.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Just because you're in pain doesn't mean you have to stay in pain. If you're suffering from backaches and arthritis, safe, soothing, odorless Topricin Pain Relief Cream is for you. Topricin, that's Topricin, will also help your everyday aches and pains, joint pain, muscle cramping, carpal tunnel, and much more. For over 25 years, Topricin has been helping people just like you feel better. With 11 natural biomedicines, patented Topricin Pain Relief Cream targets the underlying inflammation that causes pain and discomfort. We don't just mask pain like the competition, we actually help bring real relief. Topricin is so sure you'll find our products beneficial, we're offering a 100% money-back guarantee. Topricin Pain Relief Cream is available at CVS, Whole Foods, Vitamin Shop, Myers, Harmon's, Wegmans, Kinney Drugs, and at thousands of independent pharmacies and natural markets. Pay them a visit and ask for Topricin by name. Pain-free, live-free. Topricin. Rub it in.
It is 8:36, and let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Kennedy inbound jam at Foster to the Burn Circle. It is an hour and 14 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 58 minutes from Montrose, 40 in the Express. Outbound 18 minutes to Montrose, 56 to the airport. Eden, 21 minutes like Hook to the junction. Outbound 29. Eisenhower's an hour and 17 minutes, 390 to downtown. An hour from Manheim, outbound 45 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 57 minutes. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 22. Crash at 26, 2 left lanes. I-57, 30 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop Ford, 40. Northbound Tri-State tied up 95th to 75th after a stall. From the Stevenson to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Adams and Reagan tolls are fine. Veterans Memorial goes southbound. Delays starting on 53 at Woodfield Road. Delays down to St. Charles. Northbound Boughton to the Reagan Tollway. 8094 eastbound on ramps from Clyde Avenue still closed after a wreck. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Breezy, colder. We'll have more sun than clouds in the morning. More clouds in the afternoon. High 31 and clouding up completely overnight and cold. A low of 20. Currently 26 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and this is an interesting story about the governor's race and the governor from our friends, the Edgar County Watchdogs. You know the Edgar County Watchdogs?
Do you own that paper?
No.
I
The
don't.
Edgar County, we found them on the show.
Oh, okay. All right.
The Edgar County Watchdogs?
Yes.
These two retired guys from Central Illinois who ask 2 questions. Who says and what proof do you got? And that's the basis for all their stories. It's fantastic.
It's cool. They're like the car guys on NPR.
In about 4 years,
Yeah.
they're responsible for almost 200 elected officials either resigning their offices or being charged with crimes. It's all through basically a FOIA law, and just reporting and going to local government meetings and taking tips and following up on tips. Like newspapers and news organizations used to do. Now we rely on a couple of retired guys from Central Illinois, and good for them. John Kraft and Kirk Allen are their names. They've got this story. Here we go again, FOIA. Diane Ronner was in charge. Governor Ronner said in December he's not in charge.
I thought Mike Madigan was in charge.
Well, they're suggesting, based on a response they got to a FOIA request and an email that they've obtained, that maybe Diana Ronner was in charge. The issue of HB 40, this was the legislation the governor lied about to everyone, including Cardinal Supich, that he was going to veto if it got to his desk. Taxpayer funding of abortion on demand all 9 months. First governor in U.S. history to initiate it. That's what he did when he signed it. Fact. Compounding the signing of the bill, write the watchdogs, was the fact that his unelected wife affirmed she would sign off on the final version months before it was signed into law. It's clear there's more to the story as to who's in charge. We filed a Freedom of Information Act request to the governor's office for a copy of the protocol pertaining to the governor's wife signing off on final versions of bills put before the governor. The response was predictable. Quote, they found no documents responsive to my request. That was the response to the Edgar County Watchdog's FOIA on what is this protocol that involves the First Lady.
Wow.
Right. The problem is they have an email sent from the First Lady, from her government account, on the top to staff at the time, chief of staff at the time, government account, PR people at the time, government account, her chief of staff as the First Lady, government account. She writes, I'm quoting here, I would suggest, Governor Ronner is committed to protecting women's reproductive rights and has a consistent record of standing up for women's rights. He won't comment further on a bill that has not been sent to his desk. Happy to discuss further, but per protocol, I expect to sign off on final version. Thanks.
Wow.
So there's no protocol involving the First Lady, says the governor's office. And here's an email in advance of Ronner's decision on HB 40, which, he ultimately decided to sign it, saying, here's essentially what I would suggest in terms of messaging to the chief of staff, to her chief of staff, to the PR people at the time, comms people. We're happy to discuss further, but per protocol, I expect to sign off on final version. Well, what's the protocol? Because there is one. And it involves the First Lady. Did you elect Diana Ronner to make the calls, to be in charge? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. A woman who describes herself as a liberal Democrat, because she is.
Mm-hmm. Friends with Jan Schakowsky. They're look like first cousins once removed.
No concerns about that? No?
Well, I thought Governor Ronner said he was not going to have a social agenda.
Yeah, well.
I remember that, and I remember you laughing at me. Oh, you say that now.
Well, I mean, I laughed at Governor Ronner when he was candidate Ronner, too, and I laugh at people that are so naive in this state and continue to, play Charlie Brown to the political combines Lucy time after time after time, right? You may not want a social agenda, but other people get to participate too, and they have one, and they're going to try and middle you, which is what the Democrats did.
It's called your wife.
Well, in addition to your wife. It's funny, I got this question at the City Club yesterday. Well, just one other point on this. Here's something else that I think is in the offing here with respect to how the Ronners ran the governor's office, is that the political was driving the policy. And I mean political operatives, too. And if that turns out to be true, if you understand, if evidence is presented that political operatives are telling state employees what to do, that's a violation of state law. Violation of state law. So if that turns out to be true, if there's evidence that's presented, remember the Dennis Marashko memo we talked about, his former general counsel who issued this memo last fall before he resigned and ultimately was removed from the governor's office? Remember when he talked about, he released, that memo got leaked, but it was all about what you can and can't do. Why the impetus for that memo? Or what was the impetus for that memo? I would suggest that probably Marashko believed that the governor was moving in a direction to make the political and the state one team. And they can't be one team. Two teams. Because one is financed by taxpayers and the other is your political team. And the political cannot direct the state. It's a violation of the law. And I think that's what Marashko saw happening, one team. And I think that's what the Ronners wanted to do, one team. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's evidence that is unearthed in the not-too-distant future that provides proof to that claim. We'll see. But certainly Diana directing the messaging per protocol is interesting. It's moving us down that path. I got this question yesterday at the City Club from a woman who said, why are you supporting Jeannie Ives, conservative for, conservative challenger to Ronner, because she can't win a general election? This is what I'm talking about with Republicans in this state. They just don't get it. So many of them. They just don't get it. The only person who cannot win a general election is Bruce Rauner. You nominate Bruce Rauner, as I've said for months on the show, before Jeannie Ives even announced she was a candidate last year. It's done. It's over. It's the same thing as renominating Mark Kirk in 2016. You're conceding the race. So if you want to do that, fine. The Simon Institute poll, Madigan's disapproval, 68%.
That's pretty high.
So
wow.
Do you think Mike Madigan could win a statewide election?
No.
Right. Ronner's disapproval, 63%. They're basically within the margin of error.
Yeah.
So that tells you everything you need to know. So the electability thing, because he has a checkbook, is no more than the electability of J.B. Pritzker as the Democrat Party nominee right now, as he's outspent Chris Kennedy by a factor of 20 and is in a statistical dead heat with Chris Kennedy.
Pritzker used $63 million of his own money.
And counting.
That's insane. And he's going to lose.
Sometimes there is not enough money in the world to sell manure-smelling air freshener.
What you guys need to do is have a commercial with Illinois Republicans that are Ronner Republicans, and you have actors play them. Say, hi, I'm such and such, and I supported Governor Ronner because he gave me this check.
Yeah,
one of the big, large checks.
Exactly. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to.
Can I get a consulting fee for that?
And the Republicans thinking about this. So you don't care how many times you get stabbed in the back. You don't care when people lie to you repeatedly. So you don't care about anything. You care about your misunderstanding of who is in the best position to win for the purposes of doing what exactly? Being lied to some more? Ronner's going to be different the next 4 years if, the 1 in 1,000 shot came in and the Democrat nominee imploded in some way and he was somehow reelected. And then so what's he going to do with Democrat control of the General Assembly? You mean he's going to do their bidding again like he did the last 3 years? So what's the point of this? Do you get it? What is the point? Elections are the means to policy ends. So what is it you can't wait for Ronner to do in the second term? Those who think he has the best chance to win because he's got a checkbook. Because that's the only reason that's offered. It's such feeble thinking, and they're just, people are just locked into this. We see this happen over and over and over again, which is why Republicans are the super minority party, in spite of the fact that Chicago Democrats in charge of Chicago for 100 years and the state for 50 years have destroyed the economy. Why do they keep winning? Because we keep doing the same things. But I'll tell you what, 20 years, 50 years of doing the same thing hasn't worked. Illinois is the worst governed state in the country. But you know what we should do as Republicans? The same thing with the same people. Make sense to you? I'd love to hear somebody work the logic for me. Andy in Hanover Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. I got a 16-year-old daughter who's in high school, and her friends walked for Rauner last year. And I walked for Rauner a couple of times. And when he signed that sanctuary city bill, my daughter was absolutely appalled, as was I. And this guy doesn't have a chance. And you know what? The reason I'm not voting for, I'm definitely voting for Ives, but I really don't care who wins because, like I said, my daughter's a junior. In a year and a half, I'm out of this state. We've already made that decision, so I could really care less who wins.
All right, thanks for the call, Andy.
Well, everybody's leaving. It's like Sad Tuesday on Dan and Amy.
Well, I mean, do you want to? It's like one of these things. You want to confront the reality, or do you want to just kind of, go back and forth with mindless happy talk like the politicians do? I mean, I know I don't want to see people leave either, but maybe when people are telling us this and the data is suggesting what's happening, we should do something about it. Other than offer, we're working on it. It's not as bad as you think. There's plenty of blame to go around. Which is what I heard from the Democrats yesterday at the City Club. David in McCook.
Hey, good morning. I met the governor last July on a state police motorcycle run because he has a Harley. Now I understand why when we left, he got on the back seat. His wife was on the front seat.
Thanks for the call, David. Sean in Elmwood Park.
I'm listening to this, and I'm thinking it reminds me of the whole Nancy Kimmy thing. This is news to us, right? The people going to work, people who are not in the know. But do you think this is news to Durkin? Do you think this is news to Brady and to those sycophants who are waiting for their checks from Rauner? They're just sitting complacent because they're in on the scam. It's just like the same thing with when this Gold Rush Gaming gives them all the same money. They're in on the scam. Do you stand for nothing? So I am waiting. I have the time to be a resident in Florida. I spend more time there than here. I am waiting to vote for Jeannie Ives. And I am praying that she wins because she's the last chance. But in the event she doesn't, what's your plan, all you people out there? You're just going to let these people continue to do it? And as far as Rauner, what kind of a man is this guy? I'd spit in his face, but it would be an improvement, the scarecrow that he is, too. It's the whole thing. The Rauner's sicking me.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Guns have no moral agency. Predators hurt and kill people. Often they use a gun. Good guys protect people. Often they use a gun. When a predator kills with a gun, he is rightly called a monster. When a good guy with a gun fails to protect people, he's rightly called a coward. The very nature of the way we discuss an atrocity like the Parkland school shooting conveys our understanding that it's bad guys and good guys who are responsible for what they do and not the instrumentality they use in their conduct. So arguing that the response to the deadly success of the shooter and the failure of the deputy sheriff is to reduce the number of good guys and their instrumentality choices does not logically follow from the accepted premise. And neither does the failure of state agencies locally and federally to exercise the power they currently possess make the case for expanding their power at the expense of our rights. No amount of emergency planning or algorithmic modeling or government power can replace the variety of human judgment calls that will be thrust upon a free people. The question then isn't what's in my holster, it's what's in my head and my heart.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Jeannie Ives might be Mike Madigan's favorite Republican. The Madigan machine has bankrolled Ives with thousands of dollars in shady labor union cash, turning Jeannie Ives into another Mike Madigan lackey. Listen to Ives defend Madigan.
Now we're going to call Mike Madigan a crook.
Now we're going to call Mike Madigan a crook.
Instead of attacking Madigan's corrupt ways like Bruce Rauner, Jeannie Ives defends Madigan.
He's picking on Mike Madigan again. He's picking on Mike Madigan again.
Ives won't even commit